So, shoutouts to my boy Arctic, your friend and mine. He's a good dude, and he helped me out tremendously. I've mentioned on a number of occasions that I have been somewhat, I wouldn't say unsatisfied, but maybe not fully satisfied sexually about my, I'm kidding, I'm mostly kidding, about my Eternal Darkness video that's on YouTube. The one that we are celebrating today, and well, that we'll be celebrating over the next couple weeks as I play through this cool game. I've mentioned before that looking back on that video, there are things that I like about it and things that I don't like. I think the idea was very good, and I think I did okay given the technology and hardware that I had available to me at the time, and the honest lack of a computer that I had at the time. Like it was a simpler time, we'll say. All right, I get the sense bar. There it is. It was a simpler time, and I did what I could with what I had available to me. But looking back, the video is pretty rough, man. I don't know if anybody's tried watching the video in a minute, but it's pretty rough. I need to unmute this. There we go. You guys can't hear that, can you? But now you can. Oh, I can't hear it either. Let me switch my source over too. There we go. Set this down.
Nintendo.
I believe Nintendo published this game. I think in America, this was the first M-rated game Nintendo directly published themselves.
Come to understand fear as I have.
There was Conker's Bad Fur Day and those kinds of games, but I think those were published also by Rare. I think in the US at least, it was the first Nintendo published M-rated game. Also, this intro is so cool. I'm letting it all play out. Letting it all hang out. Now, is this the same intro that plays when we start the game? I think it is. Or maybe it isn't. Maybe it isn't, actually. Let's find out. Because we definitely get an intro cinematic when we begin the game. That's what I'm thinking, Gretz. I mean, I've seen, I think, just about all the content in this game so many times, it all kind of blurs together after a while. But you've played this game too, right, Gretz? Gretz is a fellow Nintendo mans who knows lots of cool stuffs. Also, feel free to let me know if the game audio is too ear-splittingly loud. I would benefit very much from not blowing out the eardrums of the nice people that stop into our stream. Stopped at a certain point. It is very much worth playing. I mean, I would say worth finishing. I think the story is pretty good, pretty much all the way through. But anyway, yeah. So I mentioned earlier that I kind of hinted earlier that I was never fully satisfied with the all Sanity Effects video that I put up on YouTube, the one that we're celebrating today. It was 2011. I didn't have an actual computer. I had a laptop, but by that point the laptop was like 6 years old. Nowadays it's like 12 years old, actually more than that. So actually no, by that point I guess it was 4 years old, because it would have taken me all the way through college, and I graduated that same year in 2011, so it was about 4 or 5 years old. But it was like starting to show its age, and it couldn't really handle like HD footage at all, so I had to like very much pare down the source of the videos I was recording for all the videos I was making at that time. But with Eternal Darkness in particular, the game is thematically dark, as the name might imply, but also is literally very dark, so a lot of the video footage is pretty grungy and pretty grimy and really hard to suss out. So it's like there was always, and I still get comments on the video today saying like, I love this idea, but like, is there any way you could like, you know, up the quality of the video? It's really rough, even by 2011 standards, and they aren't wrong. So what I've always wanted to do is, if I find myself with a plethora of free time, is to just record all of it all over again. Just do 3, 4, I don't know, however many playthroughs it takes, intentionally play in low sanity mode as often as possible at least, and get as many sanity effects as possible. And edit together one big collection like I did with, you know, the video from back in the day, and just kind of do it all over again, but with a number of changes, some editing changes as well. But like the video quality thing is one thing that's always kind of been in my mind. So your friend and mine, Arctic Rivers, one of my mods, was kind enough, because he heard me talk about that at one point on stream, and he was like, you know, there is a way to stream one source in OBS and have that go to Twitch, and then have a separate instance of OBS recording a different source and have the audio be correctly synced all the way through. Because I knew how to get the two OBS sources working, and I knew how to get them talking and how to make the video work, but I couldn't figure out the audio part. That was the part that always evaded me. So he told me about the NDI plugin for OBS, and that's what I've got running right now. And I did a lot of testing with this off stream. This took a lot of time to figure out, but I think it's good. So if all goes according to plan, after this playthrough is done, I'll have with me, of course, the stream VOD, which is like the stuff you're seeing right now, as well as a full screen, no audio commentary, no visual notifications archive of the gameplay footage, as well as separate video files. So that's something I'm very much looking forward to kind of going through. The plan is to just do a single playthrough of the game, but if I'm like super jazzed about this game like I'm thinking I might be, we might just do 3 full playthroughs, one with each artifact, so to speak, one with each essence selected. Also, I'm taking too long to hit the button, so here, let's go ahead and press this so we can just keep things going. But anywho, that's something that's kind of in the back of my mind. Will this be a true 100% playthrough, meaning all 3 essences, or will this just be a one and done, and just, you know, pick one essence of the 3 and just go for it? So I don't know. I've yet to fully figure out what I want to do and how much I want to do, but it's on the back of my mind. So because it would be an ambitious project to re-edit an entire kind of, you know, remastered version of that video with all new footage and all, you know, this would be a lot of work, but I like to think it'd be worth it, and it would be like a check off of my gamer or streamer bucket list. Like that video, it's like, oh, I always loved it, but it's like, oh, I want to do it the way I envisioned it. You know, it's the director's cut, right? Like that kind of thing. Do you get a special ending, Mr. Gratz? I almost don't want to answer that question. I will say, if you go through all 3 essences, you are rewarded, but we'll keep that on the old DL, as we say. All right, friends, I do have a memory card in, so we should be good. I'm playing this on actual hardware. You probably saw earlier I had the Wii menu up, so I'm playing on my Wii. Alex is playing with his Wii on stream. Oh my. And I'm actually not recording on the NDI source yet. Of course, I'm recording on stream. But once we get into, let's see, previously completed. No, I do not. I want this to be like legit. Yeah, we're gonna start fresh.
Flesh,
I've seen this cutscene so many times.
bound together with the oddest magical incantation. This wretched book is where it all began so long ago. Before time, before humanity. I am Dr. Edward Roivas. I am a clinical psychologist. I am also dead.
Oh.
This is not
Spoilers.
my story, nor even the story of the Roivas family. It is the story of humanity. Like it or not, believe it or not, as you will. Your perceptions will not change reality, but simply color it. Humanity has been on the edge of extinction for 2 millennia, ignorant of so much and dependent on so few. The Guardians grow restless. Their time once again near. Whether by fate or misfortune, my family has crossed their path, and they didn't take kindly to it. Their attention turns to my granddaughter, for she is the last of my line, and the last hope for humanity.
All right, no pressure. And they just throw you in, man. It's like, okay, I guess I just shoot things? All right. I think for a lot of us, when you first played this, there was this feeling of being like, oh, no tutorial, no like exploring, no, we're just going right into killing things. All right. Uh-oh. Oh, you can't pause. Can't pause to switch weapons. Out of ammo. And they get you. What's up, Buffalo Devil?
Remember me, Alex.
That's me. I'm Alex. Except I'm not a pretty blonde-haired lady. Oh, I don't think I am. Let me check the mirror. Nope, I'm not.
Hello?
But if I was, I would want to be voiced.
Yeah, who's this?
This is Inspector LaGrasse of the Rhode Island Police. I'm
By Jennifer
sorry to
Hale.
disturb you, but
Forgot her name for a
there's
second.
been an accident with your grandfather.
I'll be on the next flight out.
They say it's an accident, but...
Ah, Miss Roivas. I'm pleased to meet you. I trust you had a pleasant trip?
Yes, I suppose so, considering.
Yes, my condolences. This is most unpleasant. It's a shame we couldn't meet under brighter circumstances.
Yes, it is. Can we get this over with, please?
Of course, this way. But I must warn you, it's not a pleasant sight. I'm afraid there's not much to see. Miss Roivas, is that your grandfather, Edward?
Yes, it's him. He's wearing our family ring. I don't understand. Why are you showing me this? Can't you check dental records
drinks
or
his
something?
coffee.
What's wrong with you?
I'm sorry. It's my job, lady. You're the only living relative, and no, we can't check dental records. There's no head. None of this makes sense. There's no sign of intrusion, and there was certainly a lot of force used here. I have never seen anything like this in my 20 years on the force. We have no evidence except for the body, and what's left doesn't say much. Ugh, we don't have a single clue.
Well, you better find out who did this. I'm not leaving Rhode Island until you do. There must be some clue in this old mansion revealing what happened. I want answers.
So do I. I wish I had some.
And the adventure begins. The inspector, detective gentleman was like, yes, we're gonna find answers. And mild spoilers, we'd never see him again. Or any sign of detectives. They're just like, you're right, we're gonna get to the bottom of this. Anyway, see you later. I mean, in all fairness, there was the 2 weeks later, so maybe they really scoured for 2 weeks, but it's like, come on. All right, we all know. We all know where this is going. But yes, eagle-eyed viewers might have heard or listened, or seen or heard mention of the Ancients, and that might be ringing your Lovecraft bells. And yes, Lovecraft references and influence abound, indeed. Covered by a fucking blanket. Yes, it's like the peekaboo, but it's a dead body, a headless dead body, apparently. Also, it's worth mentioning that, yeah, it's like there's no head. It was not even decapitated. Just his head was not. It's just not there anymore. And when they called her, they were like, "Yeah, there's been an accident." I mean, we've all had whoopsie daisies and boo boos and uh-ohs, but I've never had a whoopsie daisy that involved my head just being removed and just disappeared, which is a little bit strange. Yeah, drinking yeah, she's like having this very emotional moment, and he's just like, yep, gonna drink my coffee. What's up, Woo? Good to see you, bud. Yeah, no, I do love this game. It's not perfect. There's a few chapters, there's 1 or 2 chapters that I don't love, but the rest of them I do love. And for the ones I don't love, I still enjoy them, but it's like I don't like them as much. And I will also say that magic, once you know how to like kind of use it in this game, is stupendously broken in this game. So the combat kind of becomes a joke after a certain point. But yes, it is very, very good. Kind of like Heavy Rain, kind of like, excuse me, kind of notions. And Mr. Lunatic Chef, thank you, my friend. I don't know why the notifications aren't displaying. I've mentioned earlier I've been going through a lot of things in the background as far as notifications and getting audio and video for the webcam synced up properly. And I'm running a very odd setup right now. So because my setup is not exactly standard, I think notifications might be a little bit weird for the time being. But we do get them in the chat, and of course we get the audio for them as well. So thank you, Lunatic Chef. 19 freaking months, by the way, dude. That's incredible. Thank you, my friend. We're playing one of my favorite, I would say actually my favorite, #1 favorite spooky game of all time. And it's good to see you, Lunatic Chef. It's good to see you, my friend. I like his frustration. Yeah, I mean, the dude's like, I'm not maybe just as flustered, but understandably flustered. Just a personal guillotine. Yeah, just a random accident. You know how it is. Yes, I will uncover the truth. Yes. Oh, I don't know if you mean me or this Alex over here. I've mentioned before that the joy of having a name that could be a dude's or a dudette's name means that, yes, there are these wonderful moments where like, you know, where it's like, wait, which one are we talking about? Which one are we talking to? What's up, Jim? Good to see you, my friend. So, the game has begun. The scene has been set. We are playing as Alex Roivas, the granddaughter to Edward, I think is his name, Edward Roivas, who has died under brutal and yet still mysterious circumstances, and he lived in this gigantic and very impressive and maybe slightly foreboding mansion. We are to uncover the truth, search the mansion where he had conducted his research. What kind of research? Well, he was a clinical psychologist, or psychiatrist maybe, so maybe there's some kind of tie to his past. Hard to say, but let's start poking around. Let's see, what are our buttons? Actually, for my sake, what are the buttons? So we got punchies. All right, we can hold R to like go into a combat stance. Eventually, you'll see that there are ways to target various body parts, head, arms, torso, that kind of thing with the R button. We have a run button. Let's see, we can pause. Only have a couple things though. We can equip things, we can check things, that kind of deal. L and R, switching between stuff. So we have a second floor key. Looks very old and worn. I mean, it's very old-timey, obviously. Like playing with low sanity? That's exactly what we'll be doing, Jim. Yeah, I'll be intentionally playing with low sanity. Because this whole playthrough is a few things. For one thing, it's an excuse to play this great game again. I haven't played this since... Really, I haven't played this at all since I recorded all the footage for that video 10 years ago. And the other thing is, in celebration of my YouTube video, or the all Sanity Effects video on YouTube, the one that just recently hit 1 million views. Oh, and we got a long man. Lunatic Chef, what? Long man. Long. We have this happy music as the background to this very menacing and foreboding game. Thank you, Lunatic Chef. That's very, very kind of you, my friend. And actually, Lunatic Chef, with your incredibly generous donation, let me pause real quick. Okay, that's fine. I want to, I want to pause first here before I get too into this. So let me go back to my other monitor. We are, as you can see, well above the extra life points limit. Well, it's not really a limit, but well past the point of wanting to do an extra life donation. So let me take care of that real quick. We are at 200 points now, thanks to Lunatic Chef's incredibly generous sub bomb. Thank you, my friend. The long man himself. Very generous of you. Thank you, my friend. Lunatic Chef, for those who don't know, is the kind of the nexus point through so many streamer friends that I've made over the years. And on top of that, he's also an incredibly generous gentleman. A gentleman and a scholar through and through. It's good to see you, and thank you, Lunatic Chef. I hope I can never emphasize this enough. I'm just happy that you're here. I hope you know that the support you always supply is never the expectation. It is. I'm just happy that to hear that you're doing well. It's good to see you in the chat. You know, your presence is very much a positive thing. I hope you know that you know that sub bombs and cheers, that kind of thing, is never ever an expectation. Of course, it's appreciated, but I'm just happy to have you as a gentleman, as a streamer gentleman friend, as just a cool dude overall. You're a good lad. Because yeah, like I said, whoops, let me just I'm gonna do that a lot because I tend to gesticulate wildly as I tend to do. So I'll make sure not to, you know, violently strike things as much as I can with my cool new logo that Gracie got me. Made me, rather. But yes, this whole playthrough is in celebration of a video I made on YouTube. There's a notification. Video I made on YouTube almost exactly 10 years ago. It just recently, about 2 months or so ago, crossed the 1 million view threshold, which I'm very excited about, and I've been waiting on that to happen to, like, as an excuse to do a casual playthrough of Eternal Darkness. And as I'm playing this game, I'm also recording the footage, the full game footage to a separate video, or to separate videos rather. That way I can go back, and if I ever have the time to do so, I can go back and edit together a kind of a newer version of the all Sanity Effects video, basically like an updated version with better visuals and better quality, as it's something I've always wanted to go back to do. So that's kind of what we're doing here. We're celebrating 1 million views on my most successful video on YouTube, and also 10 years on YouTube. And also, I guess I've been streaming on Twitch for about 5 years, because it would have been December of 2016 when I began in earnest with the schedule. So yeah, 10 years on YouTube and 5 years on Twitch. Thereabouts. So we're kind of celebrating a lot of things, which is nice. Also, I'm going to take a page rather, out of my own book, and I'm going to dim the lights. And by dim, I mean kill. 1 sec. Because it's called Eternal Darkness, so, I mean, I feel like I'd be doing myself and you, dear viewer, a disservice, right, to not be plunging myself into Eternal Darkness and or sanity. Insanity, that is. Alright, so, you should be able to see and hear things if I'm looking at the, yeah, looks like it should be good. Got the NDI audio, perfect. Alright, so we should be good. So, the first thing, like the first prominent thing is we look before us here, is this clock that's sitting on the table. Also, one thing to really appreciate, well, that I will appreciate, and I'm going to preemptively apologize to you, dear viewer, about, is that I love the writing in this game, and I'm going to be drinking in a lot of the text and the way it's written. So, I'm not going to read it all out loud, you know, we can all read, but I will definitely be, like, drinking in the way that this game is written. It's very, very clever and very, like, intelligent the way it's all crafted. So the hands are stuck on this clock, but the clock continues to tick. Our time is set to 3:33. There's a key on the back of the clock, maybe for winding it. Let's look at the key. However, there's something odd about this key. It's not for winding a clock, but it is for some kind of dresser. So our first secret of sorts has been acquired, which is exciting. We look behind here. There's a painting. Also, I like how Alex will look at, like, things of interest. It's kind of neat. Looks a little bit like the detective we were just talking to earlier. Maybe he had this painting commissioned of himself to put in this house. Every house he inspects, personally, he leaves his calling card. Now, this is one of the other Roivus ancestors. Dark, brooding edge about this person. Unsettling feelings abound. Well, that's on par for this game, I would say. And if we want, oh, there we go, yeah. So it's like starting to turn to evening time. Eerie feel to the last few weeks, and we are alone in this house for some time with nothing but the spirits of old for company. And of course, if we want to, we can try to go out the main door, but Alex says, nope, I don't wanna. Call the mansion beckons to Alex. So it's like, nope, we can't leave. We must learn what happened to her grandfather. So there's a second floor to try as well, but let's poke around here first. Some more Roivus ancestors. I think all these paintings, for the most part, at least of ancestors of yore, they all say the same text. So nothing a whole lot really to point out there necessarily. And then what's this thing? A wooden plaque is fastened to the door, taking the place of the lock. Some kind of colored sigil. Slot is wide enough to insert a narrow blade. I wonder what that could be for. Kind of stands out from everything else, doesn't it? It's very whimsical and fantasy, like fantastically looking. So, I wonder if that's significant at all. I don't know. I guess we'll just have to find out, my friends. And this fireplace here. Can't really inspect it at all. I can just look at it. Just look at it and appreciate it. The implication that Alex is alone in this house, but she's still somehow maintaining fireplaces. Nothing in the cupboards or refrigerators. I mean, presuming you can see the lights are on, so there's electricity and modern conveniences here, which is nice. Go back that way. So really the only thing about this room that's significant is this strange door. Just keep that in the back of our minds. I don't want to say too much about it, but just keep that in the back of our minds. There's a piano. Of Alex and Alex, it's correct. It's kind of like the, what is it? The Nickelodeon show? The Adventures of Pete and Pete or something like that? This is like that, but it's me and Lady Alex. I've mentioned before that I always kind of like wonder if this is an okay joke to tell on stream. I'll say this much. So, back in my wilder single years, I dated a woman named Alex a couple of times. Like, we never, nothing ever, like, how do I say this gentlemanly? We only went on a few dates. Nothing ever came of it, but she was a nice woman. She just wasn't really, wasn't really interested, which is fine. We were pretty different people, but she was a nice lady, and her name was Alexandria, but she primarily went by Alex. And of course, my name is only Alex. My name isn't Alexander. On my birth certificate, it says Alex. Alex Q Super Hobbit is my full name. So, that introduced some interesting moments from time to time. And I'll just say this much. It was just a couple of days. Nothing ever happened of significance. But I remember thinking to myself later on, it's probably for the best that we broke, that, nothing ever came of dating a couple times. Because I'll just go ahead and say what we're all thinking. Wouldn't it be awkward to be yelling your own name during sex? Wouldn't that be weird? So it's for the best that it petered out and nothing came of it. So, and she's married now and she's doing great. So, everyone's doing great and I love it. But it's like, I remember thinking, it's like, maybe it's for the best, honestly. What's up, El Gasso? It would rule. All right, confirmed. El Gasso yells his own name during sex. Confirmed. It's not true. It's correct. Yeah. Or fighting. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Somebody, we're both in the same room. Someone says, "Hey, Alex," we both turn our heads. I mean, there's more safe for work versions of oddities that could occur. Oh man, it's good to see you, the lunatic chef. No, I'm doing well. I frustratingly earlier I had like a stomach ache. I think I had some leftovers that were maybe a little bit expired last night. So today I've been a little bit tired and a little bit sleepy, but I took a nap earlier and that perked me right up. So I'm feeling good. We're playing my favorite scary game ever to celebrate 1 million views on YouTube. On my most popular video, that is, and this game means a lot to me. So if I get to play this game and I get to stream, then I'm feeling good. Means that I'm enjoying a lot of my favoriteest things. Male Alex, that's correct. Yes, Mr. Alex. Oh, we got a video as well. Here, let's read this real quick. We got the grand piano here. Edward really was never much into actually playing the piano, so it kind of fell into disuse. We don't actually I don't think have the ability to press any of the keys. It's no Silent Hill with very impressively elaborate, abstracted piano key puzzles. At least, not yet, by the way. Chat does not show up. You are correct, it doesn't. Thank you for pointing that out, Off-Road Devil. It should be. So, and I know exactly why it is not, as I would have disabled it when I was testing things the other day. And I meant to re-enable it, and then I didn't, because I'm a goober. As soon as I find where the heckle it is. Chat preview. Oh, now it's interesting. So it should be showing up, but yet it doesn't. So I think we might just have to be going without chat preview with this playthrough, because because I'm using 2 OBS instances, I think certain things, like certain hooks, don't get collected by the second OBS instance. So that is one unfortunate downside, but that'll be okay. Just a normal picture? Yeah. Just a normal picture already is inspire unpleasant things. Oh, this is like a little place where you can read by a window with a nice book. Have a nice little moment, nice little private moment. Sometimes you look at something and there is no description. You click it and the camera zooms, and that's all there is. Check this out. This is something that's going to be a central theme throughout this game. What's up, Rocky? You do own it. Yeah, it's a very good game. It's very much worth playing. I'm slightly biased because it's my favorite horror game ever, but I love it. Yeah, it is very much worth playing, Bum Rocky. We're playing this game actually in celebration of... I made a video for this game 10 years or so ago, and it just recently crossed the 1 million view threshold, so we're kind of doing a casual playthrough in celebration of my most successful YouTube video. 10 years old, obviously, so it's pretty old, but it was still fun, though. So we got these strange lined designs relating to each other in some cyclical manner. Wonder what the significance could be. Well, I guess we'll have to keep poking around to find out. Of course, this game came out in 2001, which means, yeah, this game is almost... Well, hold on. Was it 2001 or 2002? I want to say 2001. Do a quick search on my fancy brand new cellular telephone. Eternal Darkness. It was 2002. Okay, so it's not quite 20 years old. It'll be 20 years old in June of next year. But still, we're getting there, which is pretty impressive. Not really a fan of horror games. Yeah, if you don't like horror games, I will say this one, with very, very few exceptions, does a pretty good job of not hitting you with, like, jump scares, that kind of thing. There's a few noteworthy ones, but you have to... The only jump scares I can think of, you kind of have to go out of your way for. This is a game that I think does a very good job of just a brooding, creepy, dreadful feeling without, like the gross out stuff or like the jump scare stuff. I feel like it's kind of similar to Silent Hill, honestly, in that it's more of the fear of the unknown. It's like what the game isn't showing you, or what it's hinting at what might happen is what I love. His private nature meant he never really had a lot of visitors. Yes, yeah, he would just have the one chair. Yeah, Edward Roivas would mostly live alone, or really, yeah, just lived alone, honestly. It was, yeah, early GameCube. Early GameCube, we were talking earlier. I think it was the first M-rated game that Nintendo published themselves. Real life is scary enough. Yeah, I feel that. I mean, I love spooky games, and I love this game, but yeah, I'm certainly not one to hold it against anybody if this kind of thing isn't their forte necessarily. Before we go through there, we can check more paintings. Same messages earlier, talking about ancestors of the family with this creepy kind of brood about them. Let's go this way, actually. Piano in Mario 64. Yeah, I was thinking of the piano in Silent Hill, actually. That's like what came to mind for me specifically. The floor plan looks a little bit similar. You know what? Yeah, and the foyer, yeah, it is kind of similar. He has a motherfucking, or had a motherfucking observatory, by the way, which is pretty cool. So Alexander Roivas had some pretty fancy shit, honestly. Homeboy must have been very well off. Yeah, you have the foyer, you have the staircase leading up. In the case of the Mario 64 Ghost Hunt, or Big Boo's Haunt level, it was a single staircase, but yeah, still you had like the rooms on the sides, on the top and bottom floors, so very similar stylings. So a crank socket mounted on the top part, but there's a linked crank that is missing. What purpose can this possibly serve? Can we adjust the mirror? We can try to turn it, but nothing's gonna happen, obviously, because we're missing another crank. And there's a piano on the room. That's correct, yeah. Yeah, one of the lower areas has a piano. Except this one is not trying to eat us. At least, not yet. So there's nothing much we can do in this room right now, other than just admire it. It's cool. Like, this is all fancy and awesome, but yeah, we can't do anything much with this. I'm just more amazed by the idea of having an observatory and like a telescope inside of your fucking mansion. I mean, the Roivas family must have been very well off to have been able to, like, build upon this mansion over all the years. Glossy surface is painted in the likeness of an ancient map. There be dragons here. That's not exactly menacing, is it? There be dragons here. Indeed. What else we got? Is there a merry-go-round in the basement? Hey, man, I don't want to spoil it for you, Bum Rocky. We will find out soon, my friends. If you start hearing menacing merry-go-round music in the distance, you can mostly assure yourself it is probably not you going insane. Probably. So you can twist this as well. But again, same kind of thing. Because we're missing another crank, we can't actually do anything with this right now. Yeah, that means this game takes place in the Mario 64 cinematic universe. That's where the light would shine through. Of course, it is evening time right now, so there's not a lot of light coming in at this moment, at least. All right, at the risk of spoiling too much, I am going to exit this room briefly, because I can't remember what's in this room. Okay, this door is locked. Okay, never mind, I do know where that leads. And also, at the risk of spoiling anything, I think the top floor is also locked. Look at more creepy photos of ancestors. Yeah, this door is also locked. So, the top floor is off limits, and one of the other rooms is off limits. So that limits where we can go from here. But fear not, my dear friends and viewers, I know exactly where to lead us into victory. Jump inside the paintings. That's right. Yeah. So the creepy pictures of our ancestors, all that have this menacing air about them. Yes, they are actually all intros to levels that we get to experience, and where you get to play with your old ancestors and see what made them so mad and pissed off. Warm glow of candlelight. We have the Roivas family tree. But yeah, there's something about this family tree. I don't know. What do you guys see anything about this family tree that looks a little bit odd? Nah, this seems not weird at all to me, right? Yeah, it's a Mario game. It was published by Nintendo. Came out on the Nintendo GameCube. There's a piano in a room. Paintings exist. That's all you need. That's all you need. That's all the evidence you could ever hope for. So we have the history. Oh my god. So apparently he has a fuck ton of books all about this kind of thing. Genealogy of the Roivas family, death records, birth records, deeds, writs, all that jazz. As Mediterranean immigrants, the early Roivas were shunned by other settlers in North America. Suspected of witchcraft, the Roivas were convicted during the witch hunts, forcing them into hiding. But once they kind of chilled out for a bit, they were able to rebuild their lives and not be quite as highly scrutinized. But that notion that they were like suspected early on of some shenaniganry is interesting. What's up, Nitro? It's a good Mario game. Yeah. So this is Mario. So this is Lady Mario. Or no, we're Princess Peach. You know, she even has like the ponytail. She's not wearing a pink dress, but you know, same general vibes. I don't know if Princess Peach was ever voiced by Jennifer Hale, but I am a fanboy for Jennifer Hale as a voice actress rather. This is the prequel to Mario Sunshine. Yes, Mario Sunshine is so bright and colorful, and this game is so menacing and evil. So this is the prequel to kind of like put you in the mood, the pre-sunshine mood. Can you feel the sunshine? It's even more books and more. I mean, this guy's got a full library, obviously. Was Pauline originally blonde? That's actually a good question, Bomb Rocky. She very well could have been. Yeah, if we can jump into the paintings, yeah. Yeah, what kind of adventures would we get to go on with our old ancestors from like the 1800s and 1600s? If we went far back enough, we might get to evade the witchcraft trials in the Puritan era. And, you know, avoid getting burned to the stake. Doesn't that sound like a fun Mario level? I can see it now. Little star says, like, don't get murdered by puritanical lunatics. You click the A button. Let's go. Avoid the mob that has pitchforks and torches that are trying to burn you at the stake. Female Mario, yes, her, yeah. If you rearrange the letters in the name Alex, you can actually see that the name Maria has only one letter in common, which is not just a coincidence. I'm sure that's definitely a conspiracy theory for something. Pink dress, got a badass playable character. Yeah, I mean, well, she's arguably the best character in Mario 2 to play as. We have a supernatural corner, by the way. Writings of Poe, Lovecraft. Let's see. I feel like I should know the names Blake and Bosch. Like, you know, their first names. But regardless, ethereal horror or fantasy. A reference library to the arcane. Is it that he just enjoyed reading these things, or was Dr. Edward Roivas up to something? I don't know, my friends. I like just the constant ambient noise in the background. Another grandfather clock over there. And you can even see as Alex walks next to it, you can see her head kind of glance over towards it knowingly. There's a draft felt here, almost as though a vent or empty space is behind it. I wonder. Super Princess Peach, you're right, Bumrocky. I never actually played that game, but I always heard it was quite good. We don't even get an examination for that painting. That's just there. All right, so finally, we all kind of knew where this is going. Living grandfather clock, standing ominously in the corner. However, we can adjust it. And we saw the small clock that was placed in the atrium was locked at 3:33 and was still ticking. Should we adjust the clock hands? We shall. Let's set it to 3:33. There it is. That's what the draft is. Yes, the voice-like noises. The draft is like whispery noises. I think the rule is if you're in a large, imposing, terrifying mansion full of secrets and hidden passages, then yeah, it can't sound normal. You need something spooky to keep it interesting. So, secret passage has been revealed. What could it possibly mean, my friends? Study. A secret study of all things arcane and unknown and mysterious. So a lot of things to look at here. Except I can only look at a few of them. A shrine of candles. Placement is probably deliberate. There's etchings on the table. There's a painting, but we can't look at that painting. I think that's going to be significant later on. Here's a tower, but it is a diabolic drawing of a stack of human bodies cemented into place. What twisted psyche could have executed this drawing? It is meticulously rendered, though, down to the subtlest detail. Precise anatomy of fractured bones and the convolutions of spines and ribs entwine into a mesmerizing sight. Oh, I love the writing for this game, man. Holy shit. And a motherfucking sword. It's pretty dope. A gladius on display. Another token of eclectic junk. Well, you say that. It looks pretty dope to me, and it's shiny and glimmery. And we've all played enough video games. You know, if it's shining and radiating like that, it's probably a key item in some way. And we saw that door in the other room that had like a place where a blade could be fit through. I wonder. I wonder indeed, my friends. A cyclopean city. Architecture bathed in an unnatural fog. Details incredible. I wonder what the inhabitants are like, she wonders to herself. Yeah, again, if you have a big fancy mansion, you are obligated by law. You know, you'll be fined as a punishment. Otherwise, you need some kind of secret spooky study with all kinds of arcane artifacts and non-Euclidean nightmare drawings. Jungle shrouded building. So a number of these photos and paintings and drawings depict things of other places and other lands. Some kind of mask. Serene in composure with a hint of a smile, maybe. And deep meditation. Gothic cathedral. Oh yes. Vicious and devoid of subtlety. Every brush stroke echoes the spikes of the architecture, imbuing a violent feeling, as though the building itself is a harsh imposition on reality. A grim picture indeed. And there was this aged page inside a glass frame. Insane scribbling covers the page, incomprehensible to Alex. What if we had some kind of tome to decipher it? Well, funny you say that, Alex, because look at this motherfucker right here. What could this possibly be? Large leather-bound antique book. What kind of leather? Don't you worry about what kind of leather. You let me worry about blank. You only 2 creepy artifacts, awful devil. You get those are rookie numbers, man. You gotta up that shit. Star Trek Armada 1 and 2. Oh, that is cool, Bum Rocky. I was actually just talking to an old high school buddy of mine. He was telling me how he was trying to find like physical copies of those games because he wanted to play them again. So if getting them was on good old games, it'd be really nice. Should Alex read the book? Of course.
I had no knowledge of what was to come, nor did I care. How the knowledge changed me, it will also change you. As you read this, you will come to learn fear as I have. You too will come to understand, or you will perish.
No pressure.
To think that once I could not see beyond the veil of our reality. To see those who dwell behind. My life now has purpose, for I have learned the frailty of flesh and bone. I was once a fool. Where is Quies Candamest? Where is Conservondine? Facusatis aquae sumat, et animus eorum confirma. Pugna huis, dia sit modo prima multarum, si inceptum conficiamus.
Quam primum, Centurio Augustus.
Volo res
I would like to
militaris.
compliment you once more on your battle tactics. Our enemies did not have a chance. Do you believe that it really exists, Centurion?
I do not doubt our Emperor's beliefs, or his orders. But if we are to retrieve the artifact, then we must be strong and patient.
Oh. Literally calling his name. Those glyphs. We're gonna be seeing those glyphs a lot in this game. Those right there. And here we are. And here we are. Got the physical copies, but they need... Yeah, I was gonna say that it was probably during this era where games would do that kind of shit. You know, PC games, yeah, they wouldn't be able to handle like an amount of RAM past a certain point, or a certain like CPU clock speed past certain points. So yeah, you have to like use certain other utilities to like artificially limit those kinds of resources on your computer for those applications so that they can run properly. What's up, Mr. Arctic, by the way? Yeah, we have the evil butthole monster, that's correct. Thank you again to Arctic for helping me out with the NDI setup, Arctic, because yeah, I was able to get it all tested off stream, and I think it should be good. In fact, now that we are in like real gameplay mode, I'll soon be recording off of the NDI OBS instance that I have going. So thank you again, Arctic. Your assistance was indispensable. Was it the Cairn stones from Diablo 2 in the Stony Field? Roman soldiers with the sideways plumes. Yeah. Oh wait, you're saying the sideways plume. Oh, interesting. Okay, because yeah, as Pius here, Pius Augustus has the sideways plumes, and yeah, he is very much like some kind of high-ranking lad. Also, that voiceover, I don't know if you guys quite caught it, but that voiceover is voiced by the same guy who voiced the Colonel in Metal Gear Solid. In Metal Gear Solid, that is. You know, Colonel, that Colonel. And of course, Jennifer Hale voices Alex, the main protagonist. Let's go ahead and save, actually. Save, make a separate slot. Save and continue. Yes, that's fine. There we go. Yeah, you can ignore these other two ones. So that's the one. We're gonna save there. We only have our sword at our disposal right now. Gladius, much like the one we saw in Edward's old study. Oh, from Babylon 5. Oh, I gotcha. Yeah. Standard weapon of the Roman army. Double-edged sword. So it's a pretty common weapon, probably. Wouldn't I voice Alex, the main character? Dude, I would have loved to. Although I don't know how convincing of a lady voice I can make. Hello, I'm Alex Roivas. I'm Edward Roivas's granddaughter. Yeah, I don't know if I can pull that one off, honestly, unfortunately. My skill set is a little bit limited. So I'm gonna do this. So I'm gonna switch over to my other OBS instance. I'm gonna hit the start recording button. Because now we're in the instance soon, at least, where we'll be able to have sanity effects, and that's what I want to record. And then when he idles, he will swipe his sword and do fancy things. It's pretty good. Well, thank you, Gritoffa. You're too generous. So, Pius Augustus. The name pious has this. I mean, I think the word pious means like piety, like religious dedication, that kind of thing. So Pius Augustus, this centurion who was lured into this chamber by voices beyond. It sounds like his emperor was imploring him and his soldiers to be looking for some kind of artifact. But we don't quite know what that means, what kind of artifact it is necessarily. Into the dank heart of the labyrinth. Danger lurks, yet Pius's courageous resolve does not buckle. Let's climb down that shit. Or I could have said no and the game ends. Old lady voice, yes. Well, I think the Alex here is probably in her mid-20s. But, you know, mid-20s, mid-80s, these are just numbers, honestly. And what's this? We have a friend. Oh, we can't even, no details, no comment on this creature, Pius. Nope, okay, we're just gonna walk on past this. Oh. Oh. Pius is a gangster though, he's not too bothered. Our first combat. Oh, that was kind of cool the way the torch popped and Pius like was like, oh! Alright, so we can target various body parts, really just those first 4. Or we can just slap. Just as it is. You can also target while they're down. Cut his head off. If you cut their head off, they'll still, like, attack. You can also cut limbs off. So once something is dead, they'll kind of wriggle around. Some enemies will get back up. Others will bleed out eventually. And we didn't lose any sanity, but if we would have, you could get sanity back by giving the finishing blow. The killing blow. Yeah, the dead things we don't care, but a fancy box? Oh, now we're talking. Just a number. Well, yeah. Yeah, whenever people say age is just a number, there needs to be a... we'll say a clarification. Knock his ass down. Stab. But yes, I forgot about this, that Pius is like such a gangster. He's not really bothered by fighting these monsters. Other characters are affected by the monsters, and that's where we'll see the sanity bar come into play. One of these guys back here still wanting to fuck around to find out. They are wanting to neither fuck around nor find out, it seems. Yeah, Pius is such a badass, he doesn't really seem to care, honestly. Yeah, there are, I will say, yeah, Bumrocky, there are certain kinds of enemies where you can just cut off their arms and their arms will not grow back, and they don't have any other attacks, so they'll just stand there, and it's really silly. Got a granite block. Pick that shit up. Let us check what this is. Sharp-edged block of granite. Covered in blood red. Very good. As all things should be. Jupiter is on his side, Jim. You're right. You're right. That's all he needs. Deeper into the cavern we go. Yeah, let's actually try this out. Left arm. Right arm. Oh, he's a big boy. Yeah, there's like, they're like differently... Oh, right, there's friendly fire as well. There's differently sized lads. So there we go. I think now they can't hurt us. They'll still walk towards us menacingly, but they don't have any other attacks. Other enemies might have like a gnaw attack or other kinds of things, but these lads are the weakened lads. There's something about these lads is... Good camera, yes. Something about these dudes is like special because... Well, I don't want to, maybe I shouldn't spoil too much. I'll just say this much. These guys are definitely weak. These guys don't have a lot of meat on their bones, and they're struggling. Other enemies will be more beefy, more chonky. Romans or samurai? I would probably lean towards samurai, but Roman armor does look pretty badass, though. I wouldn't disagree. Taunts and out with, yeah, they're gonna fart in my general direction, maybe. So this one has insipid green. I wonder if there's a third one. And you can really think of the 3 color designations as Pokemon elements, as like leaf, water, and fire, for reasons that will become apparent shortly. Insipid, that's a cool word. I also like this game's soundtrack. It's not the kind of soundtrack where it's super fun to listen to on its own. It very much is a track as sound to accompany the video game. It's not really like something you can necessarily hum or like, you know, sing along to. But I will say I do kind of like this song in the soundtrack. One of the few songs in the soundtrack that like is melodious and is not just noises that are angry sounding. Cut off all the heads. Gonna keep smacking. Yeah, smack. Okay, I can finish them off one by one. But that like swipe attack has quite a bit of reach. But look at this guy in the corner. We just left him alone. He's just slapping away without a care in the world. I think you can get interrupted when you're doing a finishing attack, by the way. So you have to be careful and to not overcommit to a finishing attack in a spot where you could otherwise be slapped by something not very nice. Smack. Smack. All the little blood muscle giblets that fly out. Alright, so the other objects were placed more prominently. This one's just on the floor. Somebody likes us. Someone likes you, Pius. I mean, likes you. So yes, we have the red, the green, the blue. You can think of it as Pokemon colors. You can think of it as, I don't know, as like, there was another like 3 trifecta thing. Oh, like the Triforce. This could be Din's fire. This is Feori's wisdom. This is Nehru's love, that kind of thing. So there's a number of ways you can kind of think of the 3 sigils that we've found so far and their significance. Nothing else in this room. This room is very ornate and kind of like, I don't know if this is very like, I don't know if this is the kind of thing you would necessarily see in like Roman times necessarily. Maybe I was thinking like, could this be kind of like an anachronism? Oh yeah, also if you're trying to attack like this in a narrow hallway, you have to be mindful of walls, since they will interrupt your melee attacks. It's almost like a Middle Eastern kind of vibe. And architecture to it. The bars are closed. Or the bars are up, rather. Just rock, paper, scissors. Yes, there is very much a rock, paper, scissors element to it, absolutely. What if there's 2 more and it's a Captain Planet situation? I wouldn't complain. Doesn't this guy, in this very specific camera right here, doesn't this look like the movie Gladiator? What's the gentleman's name? The actor who played the titular Gladiator. John Gladiator. Can't remember that actor's name, but I feel like in this one, like, well, maybe not with the hands necessarily there, but I wonder if that was like very much by design, because that movie would have been, I think, relatively recent as the time of when this game came out. You know, it would have been relatively contemporary. Also, because there's friendly fire, you can just kind of let them attack each other. Except he just missed. Because this hallway's kind of narrow. It's a little bit tricky trying to sneak in these attacks. Oh, what's this? Oh, sorry. I'm trying to attack zombies, but guess I'm gonna take a second to admire the view. Russell Crowe, that's right, yes, Russell Crowe. He played John Gladiator. Slap. Wounded the knees now. I wonder the same thing, Awful Devil, because yeah, like they always wear a lot of armor on the torso, understandably so. But yeah, then like they got the feet that are exposed. Yeah, just above the, I guess, the thighs. Yeah, the elbows. I mean, you know, when it came to Roman times and trying to outfit their soldiers with things, they of course had to focus on the primary things, the primary pieces to cover. So yeah, I guess the extremities were as much of an issue. But yeah, Not the same thing. So look at this. We have 4 places where blocks can be placed, and of course we only have 3 of them. There's a 4th one right over here. So even though there's been this focus on 3 elements, there is a 4th one. A mysterious 4th one. Sharp-edged block filled with purple and tainted by a black shadow. The other ones have some kind of other cool descriptor. Ghostly blue and blood red. This one's just purple, but with spooky shadows. Would throw oh, really, Woody? I did not know that about Russell Crowe. It would have bracers, though, yeah. That makes sense, actually, yeah. To protect the forearms from, like, if they were doing melee combat and a sword, like, glanced off of another, like, the hilt and, like, hit him in the arm. Obviously, they could probably, like, drop their weapon and make them vulnerable, so the bracers would help protect that. Primarily decorated with a strange lined symbol. There is a square hole, as though something was removed. Now, I can't remember what happens. What if you put the wrong color in here? Oh, you get a bad thing. Oh, no. So that's your punishment for choosing incorrectly. Although it's a pretty not bad punishment. Because these things ain't nothing but bitches and tricks or something. Alright, so in this case, we'll do the correct option then. Oh, and it's all glowy now. Oh, shit. Oh, yeah. It's all coming together. I like when you, as pious, when you run, like when you jog, the sound of like the armor that he's wearing all kind of jingles and jangles, whereas Alex's character does not, so I like that attention to detail. Is there anything else in this room to pay attention to? I can't remember if there's any other things to investigate or examine. This room is, I think, a dead end. And I think we have a map? Yeah, we do have a map. There we go. Atmosphere is right. Yeah, 100% agreed. There weren't gauntlets necessarily, though. Yeah, like losing entire digits. Conscripts would have made armor made of wood and maybe a little bit of metal. But yeah, the fancy, yeah, exactly, because the metal armor would be much more expensive. Take a lot more resources and labor to produce. Makes perfect sense. Smacking the, like, cool logo that Gracie made. She did such a good job on it, and I keep smacking it. JRPG characters wearing braces unnecessarily. Oh, it's more for like bow. Yeah, that makes sense too. I could also seeing it be a thing for bow users. Now look at this. Oddly enough, that looks kind of familiar. You must prove your worth by destroying this statue. Now this is a tutorial about like how to target various body parts on an opponent, but we're pro gamers, we already know about that shit, so we've been doing that already. But it is a very good tactic to know about. Just odd that, and like serendipitous that they would have a statue of Pius in this place, presuming somebody sculpted this thing, because they knew he would come. Arm, other arm, head, torso. Shadow tactics. Oh, that's cool, Bumrocky. That is good to know. Romans just like their bracers. Yeah, maybe they just thought it was cool. Less functionality and more of like a fashion statement. 10,000 longbowmen. Mostly for archers, yeah. 10,000 longbow. That's impressive. Oh, can't go that way. All right. Stab yourself, but like in the right order, in the right way, for this depiction of yourself. Yes, prove your worth by destroying yourself, which might actually be kind of fitting, all things considered, based on what I know what will happen. I have played this game once before. This is not a blind playthrough, so I know a thing or two about how this is all gonna go down. Again, these narrow hallways make it a little bit tricky. Let's go ahead and finish this guy off while he's lingering and contemplating the fact that I just cut his head off. I like how they kind of like feel for the top of their heads. They're doing that kind of like, well, what's going on up here? Like they seem flummoxed. Like when you first knock off the head, they're like, oh, there was something here. What was this? But they're not that bothered, honestly. Stop by. Well, yeah, it's interesting and like legitimately a legitimate tactical thing to consider, especially with some weapons that have much wider reaches versus smaller weapons. So there are parts in the game with certain chapters where that will come into play. It's got this button, this thing, this like illuminated thing on the wall here. See if there's any other items or areas worth examining. There's this ominous fog that permeates everywhere. Some braziers of oil and fire, which are just kept going constantly, though it seems. And to investigate this, but you best believe it's gonna do something when we press this button right here. This glowy button. Attached to a small pylon. We must construct additional pylons, obviously. Bizarre energy is radiating. Of course we're gonna push that shit. Oh, we're locked in now, fam. On my end, on the speakers that I'm playing this is off of, it crackled a little bit, like it was a little bit staticky. I'd be curious to know if it crackled on your guys' end as well, or if that was just on my speakers. When I say speakers, I'm actually playing, the audio that I'm hearing is coming off of my monitor's speakers, which are, yeah, that one right there, we got it as well. Yeah, that's unfortunate. There might be like some slight degradation of things that you guys are hearing. I do know that you guys aren't getting as smooth of a frame rate as the first OBS instance is getting. That like has a higher priority, so to speak. So, unfortunately, you guys aren't getting as nice of an experience, but hopefully it still looks and sounds decent. But yeah, those crackles might happen from time to time with the louder, like fancier noises. Also, Irossi, good to see you, bud. Now, we are presented with a choice, and I will let you, the chat, help me out in deciding what to go for. So, we have 3 options, 3 essences, 3 ancients to choose. So, there's a delicate dome, a pale blue statuette, floating gracefully. There is an effigy of a warped angel, hovering effortlessly, of dark emerald green. Lastly but not leastly, there is a sculpture of a red-clawed worm. Although I say it looks like, I think it looks like crab. Like it so far. Okay, cool. No, I perceive that, Ross. It's good to see you, bud. What do you guys think? I'll confess, my favorite is probably greeny, just because I think it looks cool. Blue is my favorite color, but I like how that essence looks. Here's to see if you guys have a preference. Can I smack anything? No, I cannot. There's no violent options. And to like look at these things. Also, like, as we get farther away, the shrieking volume goes down. Almost as if they're trying to say, don't do it. Don't pick up the essences, Piuses. Don't do it. I would pick up all 3 if I could. Yeah, I'd be curious if anybody has any preferences. Mass Effect 3 ending? Oh, really? Maybe Mass Effect exists in the Eternal Darkness cinematic universe as well. Video game-amatic universe. I know D-Man says he prefers the greeny path. And again, I'm biased, so I like that one as well. I think when I played this for the first time ever, I think I chose the crab path. It was time for crab. I think I was 14 or 15 when I played this game for the first time, something like that. I wasn't 17 years old, but don't tell anybody. We'll just go with this one. Take with the greeny one. Just because it's what I know. Yeah, green for Pepe, that's correct. Here we go. The Pepe essence is ours. Don't do it, Pius. I mean, I told you to do it, but don't do it. The Pepe power is too strong for him. Memes permeate his blood. But now he's looking like one of the monsters. So his humanity has been sucked.
Eons have passed since then, and I have learned much.
That's the Colonel from
I
Metal
was
Gear
once
Solid.
as naive as a child, but now my mind is sharp. With the power of Zelatoth, I can now read the thoughts of others and make them raving mad with a mere suggestion. Face me,
Zelatoth.
and you shall surely perish.
That's the name we're gonna hear a bunch. Zelatoth. So Alex has finished that chapter, and now we have the tome. We got it. Yeah, but yeah, at least his drip is intact. That's correct. The power of Pepe. That's right. So, a few things. We have this Gladius on the wall. I don't think we can actually grab it though. Yeah, it's still just a token. So that's still there. So we have the tome on our person now. Experience spells, enchanted items can be stored for future use. Made from fragments of human skin and bone and endowed with magical, with a K, powers. Oh, it wasn't? Oh, okay, yeah. I always, well, at least I'll say this much. I've never independently verified it, but others have told me it was the Colonel, so I always thought that it was. Because it sounds awfully similar, but yeah, if it's not that one. But he did other impressive voices. So, we saw this earlier, this page on the wall. And we knew it was of significance, but when we looked at it, we said, man, we can't read this if only we had a tome of some variety to read this thing. Well, now we have a tome, and now we can see that it's a part or a page from the Tome of Eternal Darkness. It's a chapter page from the tome itself. Let's grab that shit. The Binding of the Corpse God. Sounds like a jaunty little tale. So with that, you can like check it. Use this item to read the chapter. Should we read that shit now? Yeah, do that shit.
I cannot say what was the true beginning.
Richard Doyle.
nor am
Okay,
I
Paul
sure
Iden,
of its
gotcha.
end. So perhaps here is the best place to start. I am reminded of ideas I first encountered in Sir James George Fraser's book, The Golden Bough, a study in magic and religion. We are overwhelmed by a very human need to weave a web of meaning where there may be none. Since time immemorial, ancient peoples have dressed up their lack of knowledge as gods and demons. I have discovered that sometimes the fates of gods and mortals intertwine, and legends are born.
Thy time is done, great ancient. Forever in shadow will you be master of chaos, and to fade to nothing in obscurity will be thy fate. My master has planned many millennia for this day. It is the true chaos of all things that you now must be entombed amongst the beings of flesh and bone.
You have a great monument here, Mantarok. It is a pity that no one will ever recognize it as yours. May the darkness claim thee, crawling chaos and damned beast. No longer will thy reign be kept over the ancients you have kept imprisoned. Thou hast seen the last of this world.
The whole room is like flesh and eyeballs and mouths. It's the name
Even these
Mantarok.
mythical fables can keep me amused. There has to be something to do around here. I only wish something that fantastic and of higher purpose could happen to me.
Oh, Okay. Well, there you go. I'll confess, I didn't realize we were doing this chapter next. I thought the next chapter was another one, but that's fine. I think there is a preordained order for all the chapters in this game. It might appear that there isn't like a need for the chapters to be played in a certain order. Some of them are very much tied to each other, but many of them are pretty self-contained. So you can almost think of each chapter as like a story within the Tome of Eternal Darkness. Like it's like a self-contained like short story that you're kind of playing through. So it's almost like you're playing through like a series of Lovecraft short stories or something. Corpse God's name, dude, I wish. Yeah. So we saw that beast. They called him Mantarok in the video. That cutscene where we saw him getting stabbed by the large pillars and whatnot, and that Pius, or what's left of him, was saying that Mantarok had been imprisoning the ancients. We don't quite know what that means, but we do know that Mantarok has been wounded, so he is presumed to be weakened in some kind of way, and what the aftermath of that will be is yet to be seen. So we begin with the Tome of Eternal Darkness. So we saw the tome, of course, Alex is reading this story with the Tome of Eternal Darkness, yet the woman in this story has it on her possession right now. We have a short sword, light and durable, so nice and good. Better for hacking rather than stabbing. Good, very good. And that is what we have for the time being. And like all good stories, it began because somebody was bored. She was like, I'm bored. I'm gonna go on an adventure. And now it's like, oh, all right. The temple is sealed. Is there another exit somewhere? Maybe. Jagafras from the long game. Oh, and Doctor Who. Okay, I got you. Yeah, I've never seen Doctor Who. Any episodes of it. And I think I would like it, but I've yet to give it the old college try. I've yet to, like, sit down and go for it. I think I would enjoy it, though, based on what I've seen. Or based on what I've heard, at least. We have a statue here of a goddess constructed of sandstone. Cast an alert eye over everyone who enters the temple. There's a strange necklace. Should I take the necklace? Of course. It too has eyes on it. Oh, snap, son. Now you done did it. It can be used to heal her. Elia, that's right. But don't move, otherwise the spell will be interrupted. Oh, you're right, Arctic. Yeah, there was a Classic Who channel. I guess that's a Classic Doctor Who channel that was running for a while. I'm guessing it's dormant now. So not very good writing. Yeah, I've heard that some of the seasons' quality in writing has peaks and valleys. So it seems like a lot of there's oftentimes some stark debate over the writing styles of certain seasons, and if certain doctors are better than others, and certain seasons are more or less well written than others. I understand that is sometimes controversial, but I don't really keep up with the discourse. A door going that way. So we saw another door over this way. It closed, I think. This one right here. Feel free to let me know, by the way, if the game is too dark. I mean, thematically, it's quite dark, but literally, if you're having a hard time seeing things, I can, of course, introduce additional gamma adjustments. So don't feel like you have to squint to see things and to enjoy the video game footage. I can institute changes on my end if need be. Russell Davies is the showrunner. Oh, okay, yeah. I was gonna say that name sounds familiar. I feel like that's a name that is oftentimes revered positively. There's other names who have been writers for Doctor Who that apparently are more controversial, but it sounds like Davies is well known. You're in the darkness as well, Bumrocky. Yeah, you see my background, baby. We're all in the dark right now. Doing good? Okay. Okay, cool. Thank you, Awful Devil. More friends. More friends. Oh boy. And look at this. This looks a little bit like the candles in the, like on the shrine that was inside of Dr. Roivas' study that we saw earlier. Time of day. Maybe it's the candles as well. Interesting. What is this? Striking design featuring the sun sinking below the edge of the world. How ominous. Anything else of note? Not just yet. Oh, now you done did it, lady. I mean, it's an Indiana Jones style temple. Of course, this kind of shit's gonna happen. So you can see right here, there's additional discolored panels on the floor here. So to demonstrate, actually, I guess since these are already activated, you can't activate them again. But there are additional traps further down. I'm gonna try to not step on those, because some traps are more annoying to get past than others. Perpetual motion traps. Yeah, it looks good, right? It's nothing weird. Looking good, Hollywood. Giant, horrifying traps of awful, terrible things. Step on these. Yeah, one of the traps in the middle that I went out of my way to avoid, they'll blow darts. Actually, maybe I should just go ahead and show it. Yeah, you be a real gamer. Show all the traps, Alex. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. I thought they would be popping off. Okay, maybe not. Maybe that's not until feature rooms. Because now there are blow dart traps to be avoided. A new kind of monster, by the way. Wake up, babe. New Eternal Darkness monster dropped. After centuries of disuse. Well, I mean, yeah, those corpses did look pretty rotting and crusty, so maybe those corpses have been here for a while. Yeah, maybe they have a maintenance guy that comes in and cleans up the traps from time to time, just, you know, touches them up a little bit. Or it's the arcane magic of the ancients that are blah blah blah, you know, just George Lucas hand waving. Got a little bit of a half butt action. Well, just a little bit of a half butt. I think Elia's backstory is that she is a dancer. Or like she's like an acrobat or something like that. She's someone who is very nimble, and yes, wears clothing that allows for free range of movement, and not because video games like to show butts. Definitely not that. No, of course not. It's not like in video games women are shown like depicted wearing revealing clothing. That never happens in video games. Come on, they definitely have a functional reason, right? Sure, whatever you tell yourself, Alex. Anyway, sanity loss occurs if you encounter a creature. And we want low sanity because I want sanity effects to happen. Because yes, sanity loss affects perception and eventually health. So we were seen by a monster. We have a sanity bar on the top left there. New bar just dropped. Sanity meter has gone down. Every time that we meet a monster, our sanity will get lower. And the lower the sanity goes, the more we will hallucinate. And those hallucinations, the sanity effects, are the things I'm looking to see the most. Yeah, very patient, that monster, to be so nice. Someone's giving the maintenance. Yeah, I like to think that they have like a maintenance staff on deck, like maintenance zombies to repair and service the traps that are out here. Also, it's worth noting that different characters in this game will have different like maximum amounts of sanity and health and magic. There's also magic in this game. So, and the way... Yeah, performing a finishing move will recover sanity. But I don't want to recover sanity. I like having low sanity, so I'm going to resist the temptation to do the finishing moves. Although the finishing moves do sometimes look kind of cool. I will say that much. Also, I have to sneeze. Excuse me. Woo! Sometimes when I sneeze, I have to like do a follow-up like, woo! Like I have to do that. It is completely involuntary. I can't help myself. Alright, now I'm good. Finish him. A bronze necklace. What if it's like the necklaces in Resident Evil 4 where you have to like dip them, or prevent them from getting dipped into the sludge. Keep them nice and pristine. But yeah, like I said, new enemy dropped. This one's blue. Just fascinating. We saw that there were zombies, or not zombies, that there were essences that were colored green, red, and blue. So if that lad was blue, could it mean that there are also green and red zombies? Well, to find out, my friends. In the meantime, it depicts a time of day. Maybe the candles do as well. Let's see if we can extinguish the candles to match this depiction. So let's have just the middle one be illuminated. Look at that. Such pro gamers. Well, or at least 1/3 the way through. So all the doors that were locked are lowered by a smidgen. Featuring a brightly burning sun. How's about this guy? Doesn't this look familiar? These three emblems with a 4th emblem. Open slightly, but not enough for her to go over it necessarily. But yes, again, the bottom right, that's the green one. That's the green essence that we selected. And Pius mentioned the name Zelototh, which is the name we will likely hear a bunch in this playthrough. Yes, yeah, I like to think that that's what that monster would be humming if he was able to sing while he was alive. Now, these guys are still here. They're definitely not gonna, like, pop up. Can I, like, kick him? These are definitely not gonna pop up suddenly as we're walking around, right? Or this guy, for that matter. No, they're gonna stay dead, for sure. They never show corpses of zombies in video games with the expectation of them suddenly popping back alive for no good reason. So take care to avoid, if possible, the panels on the floors. Now, some areas, it'll be impossible to not hit certain panels, so sometimes you just gotta take that shit. Oh, spooky times. So we got another hit on Sanity. Several hits, actually. We got a pretty good melee weapon, though. This thing's pretty dope. They said at one point that you can lose health from Sanity loss. I think that's technically true, but not... I don't remember exactly how it works. I remember there is a bottom Sanity amount that you can reach, but I think the circumstances for losing health from Sanity loss are more specific than that. These guys, like I said, do not get back up, so let's let them be wriggling on the floor. You can hear there's new audio effects. There's like these creaking, clanging noises now. There's been no like major effects yet, but things will get weird. Oh, look at that. We got some blood dripping through the walls. So hallucinations are starting to begin. So, and our character notices them and will react to them accordingly. So, nice and weird. Sadly, I can't move the camera around. This is a fixed, well, I would say fixed camera, but the camera is beyond your control in this game. Some over here as well. So, you know, sometimes you look at a couple zombies and you imagine the wall's just bleeding. Now, can I make them bleed more? No. No, I cannot. Well, that's disappointing. So, this entrance over here is still blocked. The exit out is also still blocked. However, we have a new necklace. Hey, babe, new wake up. New necklace just dropped. In fact, I haven't even looked at these, really. Well crafted, resplendent, with glowing gems. A dark stone, ancient stone even, with weird designs. Can cast a healing spell, which is good. We don't have any healing magic right now, so that could come in handy. What if we adorn this statue with the new fancy bronze necklace? Oh, look at that. She likes that. It's ketchup. It's not blood. Accurate. I was thinking maybe strawberry jelly. Reanimated corpses of bleeding blood. Yeah. Yeah, you would think it'd be a little bit more... what's the word? I don't know. Blotted, maybe? A recent blood transfusion. Yeah. Obviously, it's just for visual effect. Like, you know, it's just for... It's just for the sake of making it, like, pop out to the viewer, to the player. The realism factor, yeah, obviously there's not much there, honestly. Just very well preserved, yeah. Well preserved blood ketchup. Sun rising above the edge of the world, whereas the other one was sinking below the edge of the world. This area is actually nice and quiet. Fix the time of the day. Yep, the candle matches up. You can see the sun all the way to the left. Nice and chill. Nothing else here. There's still more creaky noises, but no crazy hallucinations yet. So that right there, that little long panel on the floor there, it's one that's easy to walk across. I think this is where the arrows would be flying if we were to step on that first panel. Like this. You can hear them. Oh, there we go, yeah. So that's what the arrows look like. They're annoying and they... Oh, never mind. They're annoying and I think some of them can, like, poison you and, like, do lasting damage. These are just one-shot deals, but... And it's not that much damage, but they're more of a nuisance. Oh, there's another one right there. I usually try to take those fairly slow if I can help it. This one's a red zombie. Whoa, this one looks beefy, too. Those blue boys were, like, more falling apart. We have the camera tilt, by the way. It's like Battlefield Earth or something. There's apparently a word for that style of like camera tilt, that like cinematic camera tilt thing. There's like a word for that kind of deal. But look at this. Look how like fast this guy is. He's fast. His head regrew, by the way. So the red lads are like pretty spicy boys. They're pretty tough to fight sometimes. They're very fast, very hard. They take a lot to bring down. They're pretty spooky. Their limbs and heads will regrow back, so they are a formidable challenge. So there's nothing on the wall at all, which means let's just extinguish everything. Plunge is rolled into eternal darkness. It's called the Dutch angle. That's right, Jen. Thank you. Yeah, these guys are much less crusty. And they're much more hearty and like vibrant. So yeah, these guys would have like real blood. What are you looking at me for, Ellie? I'm just giving him the facts. Or Elia, rather, not Ellie. Now, eventually they will, like, not come back alive. Like, they'll stay dead if you knock them down enough times, I think. So I think this is the new direction. I don't remember seeing these guys here, and they've yet to stand back up, oddly enough. Romance the meat zombie, yes. Romanceable NPC zombie friend. What this? Decorative etchings on this pedestal. A blowgun, now I can blow everything, hell yeah. Some special significance for it to be on display. Should I take it? Of course. Whoa, shit. Or maybe that wasn't the wisest choice. So she's nimble. She avoided injury.
Secret passage in the temple.
But her sword broke. So new zombies. Oh, but maybe a normal human being, human person. I'll save you. Oh, I think I poisoned the dude. I'm sorry, I'm trying to save you. Alright, so now we are fully insane. So I don't have a melee attack. Wait, kill that guy off. You alright, buddy? Sorry I shot you earlier. Will you be cool about this? And I like how when you poison someone with like some kind of poison weapon, they'll turn green for a bit, much like in other video games, obviously. We rescue the guard. We bring him a weapon. He will repair it. That's nice of him. Okay, let's do that real quick before he dies from the poison I launched into his urethra. Shattered short sword. Yeah, sorry about that. Broken short sword. We're fully insane, by the way, and the noises are getting weird now. It is completely useless. Same, honestly. Can I not talk to you? Oh, there we go. It's a gesture of thanks. Here, quickly before the poison takes your nervous system. Oh, he's dead. Okay, well, he got it at the very, very end. Sorry about killing you, dude. I tried to save you. I mean, I don't know if I succeeded. But at least we got our sword repaired. I like how... Well, I guess I have to unequip this. Oh, look at that! Interesting, so we actually can't equip it. I think we found like a race condition kind of thing where... Yeah, we can't use the sword. Isn't that some shit? Wow, that's nutty. Alright, well... Oh, wait, no, never mind. It's equip, not use. I was looking at the use button like an idiot. It's equip. Okay, I was thinking for a second like, oh, did we see... Oh, there he is. His corpse is fine. Did we, like, find a condition where it's repaired but not fully? I don't know, I kind of like the blowgun. Let's use this for a little bit longer, at least. I feel so bad. In the heat of the moment, I tried targeting the zombie, but shot right past the zombie and smacked that guy in the noggin with a poison dart. And the guy got hit by several zombie hits as well, so Homeboy was not long for this world, sadly. So we got the Dutch angle going on pretty hard right now. And look at this right here. You can see the floor panel right here. That is one you just can't avoid. We just gotta walk over that shit. Poisoning a reanimated corpse, yes.
Oh,
And sometimes the characters will talk to themselves in their fits of madness. Yes, poisoning a reanimated corpse. Yes, there. This neurotoxin damages their non-existent nervous system or something. Oh, so look at that. So we are losing health. Yeah, so maybe from time to time it would be good to, like, hit something from time to time. That way we have some sanity as like a cushion. Smack. Just get a little bit back. Because I want to be as insane as possible, but I also don't want to die from sanity loss. Become insane to death in the membrane. The mural. Skeletal demon befriending the ancient Khmer people by denouncing one of their fertility gods? I'm sorry, what? A skeletal demon befriends the Khmer people by denouncing one of their fertility gods. So, a skeleton demon says, I'll be your friend if I can talk shit about your penis god. So, let's see, the skeletal demon. We all know who that resembles, whomst that resembles. These are the Khmer people on the left. And this is their fertility god, which looks a strange bit like Mantarok, doesn't it? I mean, maybe with less... He has less tentacles, but more eyes and mouths and flesh and such. So Mantarok might be some kind of fertility god then. Maybe it's the only part still active. Yeah, most of those at least make sense, but... Yeah, other organs probably not so much. Is this right here? Something could be inserted, maybe a key or a lever. Well, we can check our inventory, but we have no such things right now. So for the time being, we have nothing to offer. Maybe we have to come back later, though. I think this is the correct direction. Unfortunately, some of the rooms do kind of blur together. And, of course, we do have a map, which I think means we're doing the right thing here. It's another one that we can't avoid. I wonder if I can just wait. Oh. More hallucinations. A little bit gross, but there it is. I think we just wait for it to stop shooting. Oh, she sits down. That's kind of cool. It's so like an idle animation. I didn't realize that there were like custom idle animations for different weapons. It's kind of neat. Anyway. Oh, I still got hit. You know what? Let's just run. And then, can I go past this? No, we cannot. We gotta go through the doorway. Some traps are unavoidable. Although, nothing's happening, so it's probably fine. Maybe that was also for the blow darts behind us. So the walls are leaking blood. Ceilings and such. Oh gosh, yeah, a little bit more tricky for this one. And of course, it's hard to see in this case. So we'll just go by the audio of the timing. And it's, as you can imagine, pretty easy to get comboed by these. It's not an instant kill, but it is a decent bit of damage if you get hit by one of these. And the paths are so narrow, if you get hit by one, you can get juggled by a few of them. It's stressful. We made it though. Pro gamer alert, we made that shit. Battlefield Earth, oh yeah. Oh, look at this. A depiction of the monsters fighting each other. So the different elemented monsters are not all friends. So we're gonna fight the winner. Hey, you're green too, motherfucker. Oh, sorry. I like how when you shoot them, I think if you look closely, when the camera is closer at least, you'll be able to see the darts sticking out of their faces. Maybe. I don't know if that's 100% true necessarily. We have another mural here. Whoops. One of the ancient Khmer deities being tortured and killed by a skeletal demon, very much mimicking what we saw in the cutscene of this level. The reds and the green, yeah, they hate each other. And presumably the blues would also fight the zombies. So there's infighting amongst the different kinds of zombie friends. Different flavors of zombies, if you will. So that zombie succumbed to the poison. The camera's getting stuck on things sometimes, so it looks like it's vibrating. I don't think it is. I think it's just getting stuck on like various parts of the room's architecture. And we can finish him even from afar with the ranged weapon. Just smack him back down, honestly. Go this way. And what's this?
Alex, I will always be at your side. There are times when insanity takes hold, and nothing seems right. During those times, I will help you. Fear not, for I will keep the darkness away.
Thanks, Gramps.
This can't be happening!
We're gonna hear that a lot in this game, by the way. After some kind of... I mean, that was a scripted... I wouldn't call it a sanity effect, but it was a scripted sequence. But after some kind of sanity effect thing that is, like, that causes the game to, like, be interrupted in some way, when it flashes back, you'll hear the character say something like that. So be prepared to hear "this can't be happening" about a bajillion times. I'm actually kind of surprised we haven't seen a lot of sanity effects yet. Also, is this the right way? Oh, I think we're going back, actually. We haven't seen a lot of sanity effects yet. Other than, like, the walls bleeding. And the noises in the Dutch angle. That's stuff that you're gonna see a lot, though. I'm thinking more about, like, the really unique things that cause the game to snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. And look at this. Mantarok, we were just talking about your handsome face. And here we is. Oh. Okay, never mind, I guess. My game audio's muted. Oh, there it is.
This isn't really... No, this isn't happening!
So there's the first one. First one we've seen. And I like how the mute was like old school CRT style mute. And not like more modern. Where they wouldn't even show a display necessarily. So that's kind of cool. 2002, obviously. 2002 technology. Take a drink every time you hear "this can't be happening." If I stream for more than a couple hours, we'll all be dead. From alcohol poisoning.
Stop. Don't go near it.
Oh! Too late, fam. They got fertility godded.
So, you are reduced to feeding on flesh and bone, Mantarok. How the mighty have fallen. You will surely fester for millennia to come. A slow and torturous fate for thee. You had best leave, young fool, or you will find yourself as food for the dead god.
He's not dead yet. Just slowly dying. Ouch. Nope, we're fine.
You are one of the chosen many. Flesh and blood. It is
Just
now
like,
your
I have a name, you know.
destiny to fight the eternal darkness.
Name drop.
I give you a gift in return for an obligation. The gift is your life, sweet dancer. The obligation is this.
Hold me close now,
Mantarok's
little
corpse.
dancer.
The essence of a corpse god. To some it is a source of great power. From those people, you must defend it, lest they use it to destroy what little brightness your world has left in it. Guard it well.
So I don't know if we get to learn much about that guy that bequeathed to us Mantarok's essence of sorts. Is that what this is? I guess it's not in our inventory necessarily. Yeah, it's inside of us. So that heart, this beating heart, is Mantarok's essence, I think. And that dude that bequeathed it to us, he looked kind of zombie-like, and the way he kind of sauntered away with his legs slapping behind him also looked, you know, looked kind of zombie-esque in a way. So it makes me wonder if he was like a servant of Mantarok, but was lucid enough to be able to, you know, speak coherently. I still have control of the character, obviously, so you know, we're still doing things. We're still gamers. What's up, Farfanugan? It's good to see, my friends. So we have this thing here, although I think I'm supposed to look around before I pick that up. I think that might initiate something. Can I give Mantarok a big old hug? I can like kind of step on the outer like outer rings of his presence, but I can't actually like get too close. Maybe it's for the best, honestly. Statue of a human lady. Witness to the monstrosity that fills this room. Horror stone of its body is covered with the ooh, look at that word. Another good depiction of this game's cool writing. Effluvial grime that Mantarok has secreted over the years. Doesn't that just sound so sexy? I love me some living ancient gods that are also maybe fertility gods to some religions that are made of eyeballs and tentacles and mouths. Oh, wait, hold on. There was an examine. Look around. Look around. Yeah, this whole room is his chamber. And he's still alive. I mean, he's still breathing, but you can see his breathing looks more laborious than when we first saw him, with the pillars that have stabbed down into him. Effluvial grime. That was my underground hip hop stage name back in the day. Have we played this? So I played it on my YouTube channel years and years ago, just about 10 years ago. However, this is my first time streaming it. More effluvial grime over here, by the way. Very good. Usually invisible emanation or exhalation, vapor or gas. So yeah, so that's a very appropriate word to use then. It is delightfully, like, you know, gross sounding. Metal staff, by the way. We saw a place earlier where a staff could be inserted. Now, I think this door over here is still closed, so I guess we have to go back the way we came. Formidable size seals the vault. Stylized design, resembling this creature. I mean, this creature kind of is a Lovecraftian nightmare of tentacles and eyeballs and mouths gaping abound. So whenever it comes to like Lovecraftian things, like you see all these tentacles and these mouths and these eyeballs, it kind of like checks all the boxes, doesn't it? So my controller vibrates with each exhalation of this beast. This living demon god. Whoa, we have more friends. So I guess these guys spawned in our absence. Now, I did lose a little bit of sanity just now. Oh, never mind. Looks like we regained all of our sanity, which I don't want. I don't want sanity. There's interesting things in this game happen with a lack of sanity. So that's what we're all about here. More curious noises. And actually, since the sanity effects, the sanity loss got reversed after that little cutscene sequence. Oh wait, please get hit. Yes! Oh, I got hit too, shit. That's what I get for talking shit. Oh, look at that. Yeah, when they trigger or they get hit by one of the swords, they get knocked down and the trap stops working until it gets reset. Because they can trigger the traps themselves as the zombies walk across things. As they walk across the panels. So we can set them off and also can the zombies. Hence why these things have been obliterated by unseen forces. We're going backwards then. We have to deal with the dart traps. Actually, it looks like the dart traps is not an issue, really. So all those monsters and the zombies we saw leading up to this point. Oh yeah, there's a loss to our health. Let's do this. So knock you all down. I'm gonna kill like finish off a couple of them so we have a slight buffer to our sanity. Smack. Maybe just the one hit. Is this the one? Ah, here it is. A key or a lever? Well, lever, but I hardly even know her. What is this metal staff, by the way? It looks to be a lever of some kind. Well, how about that? Let's equip this and use this. Is that gonna open? Okay, it opens the door we just saw earlier. Very good. In that case, that'd be, I think, this door. We don't have like the equivalent of the compass in Ocarina of Time, or Majora's Mask for that matter, where you can like see where in the room you are, but I am going the wrong way, so I will go back this way then. So they're still poisoned, but not dead yet.
I didn't know.
More nonsensical rambling. Some sanity effects are very subtle at first. Like when you first enter a room. I'll go and tell this to you, dear viewer. I'll spoil some of it. Most significant sanity effects, only like the ones that are really spicy, will trigger when you first enter a room or some kind of loading zone. And they might be kind of hard to notice at first. So and for those, I'm trying to like be watchful. Like I think I know what most of them are off the top of my head. But I'm trying to be like, observant to see if I can catch them when they begin, because some of them are like best to appreciate. You can catch them early. Is there more zombie fighting? Oh, they're just all taking damage from the poison. They're still poisoned, by the way. You assholes are still getting poisoned. Because I'm not letting them die. I'm just walking out before they can do the thing. Has anyone, Alfred Dove? Yeah. Has anyone ever truly answered this question? I've never heard a direct answer. Alright, past the effluvial room of grime and secretions. What lies beyond in the vaults behind Mantarok's chamber? Well, we have this. And to investigate this thing on the floor, anything on the walls. What about the statue, though?
Fool! You should have run. Instead, you will die. Where is the essence of Mantarok?
Uh-oh. Now they're on his side. I thought they were our bros. That's not very bro of them.
Where is it? I will not ask again, child. Very well, then. You will succumb to the horrors of oblivion.
We were trusted with Mantarok's heart. We couldn't run away. So that is the end of her story. Or is it? I don't know. We'll have to find out. Was he able... So he killed her, but he didn't... He seemed unsatisfied, like he was still looking for the heart. So maybe there's still more to her story. And sure enough, that shrine has become illuminated. I'm gonna save real quick. Save early, save often. We all know the mantra. Very good. How he talks to the lips. Yeah, he does a pretty good job, actually, of enunciating things properly. Excuse me, properly. He's doing a good job. We have a small shrine. Placement is deliberate. Yes, we've seen this before. Some of the candles are lit, fam. So we can see the just north, just above this shrine of sorts. Let's leave just the leftmost one illuminated. To go along with the sun's placement. Ooh, what does mouth do? Correct sequence of candles. There's a message tube. Let's crack that shit open. Leather-bound message tube used to transport sealed message scrolls. It is unopened. Maybe there's something inside. I bet there is. Oh, chapter page. Suspicions of conspiracy. And a cutscene.
Your presence is welcomed, Majesty. As always, I am honored.
Our dealings are a pleasure to us both, then. He lies. As do we all. What is this flaw you wish to discuss with us?
My concern is with the other ancients. Ulyaoth, Shaturga. Should they unite with Mantarok, they will doubtlessly possess enough power to vanquish even thee.
As darkness abhors light, and light abhors dark, the others will not, cannot join forces. Mantarok will be bound, and the others will sink into insanity when I return. As has been foretold.
I was unaware.
There is much you do not know. And much you never will. Be certain to retrieve Mantarok's essence. It is necessary to cement our place in your world.
Then what of Charlemagne the Frank? What do you intend for him?
The Frank is an instrument of light. He seeks to unite Europe under his banner.
With this in place, my guardians will be hard-pressed to perform the functions you require.
For your own schemes, Pius. Think of your future.
Then Charlemagne will be removed from the picture.
Make sure he is dead. Or insane. Or perhaps one, then the other. Just make sure he is removed from power.
Of course. He is as good as dead.
So that's what killed Charlemagne. Is it Charlemagne or Charlemagne? Regardless, that's what really caused him to die. Also, fun fact, I'm pretty sure Jennifer Hale voices Zelototh, the green demon we saw in that sequence just now. So we don't have the message tube anymore, but we got that chapter page shit on lock. That's correct to Off-Roll Devil, yes. The ancient essence that you choose at the very beginning of the game dictates everything with regards to the zombies you encounter in certain rooms and the essences or the voices and like elder beings you see in cutscenes and the kinds of magic you get in the right order. The general story that you play through is still the same. You still play through the same chapters in the same order, but yes, that initial ancient choice does impact a lot of things. The whispering, yeah, the ASMR evil god, that's correct. What's the gameplay time thereabouts? I would expect we'll be able to finish this in a single playthrough, that is, in probably 2 weeks of streams. So, and I usually do like 3 streams per week of single player games. So I would guess like, yeah, probably in 2, maybe slightly less weeks. So probably like, I don't know, maybe 20 hours of like gameplay, maybe. It's not a terribly long game. Actually, one thing I want to do real quick is I need to use the restroom real quick, so I will put up the BRB screen. And I will leave the background noises as I am urinating. And also, real quick, in the pause screen, you can see we actually have lost some sanity already because reading the Eternal Darkness Tome of Eternal Darkness makes Alex go slightly silly. So that will come into play as well. Of course, eventually you have ways to restore sanity if there's no corpses you can fight necessarily or finish off. But yes, we have that to look forward to. I'll be right back, friends. Gonna use the restroom, and I shall return very shortly. We have a new chapter beginning, and is there anything else we want to do before we jump in? Oh, we never actually looked at the desk, did we? His desk or his study filled with arcane knickknacks, mementos of yesteryear, and things of other cultures. The odor of ancient texts is faintly noticeable under the peppering of dust that covers every surface except one. This desk has been the center of activity. Not a mote of dust is on it. It worked maybe perhaps even hours before the end. Maybe it is, my friends. Thump, thump. See what begins.
From my research, it is apparent that the endeavors of mankind are mere puppetry at the hands of the ancients.
I love this level.
Whenever a king vows reform, the ancients move quickly to stifle it. Under the auspices of Emperor Charlemagne the Frank, the new Holy Roman Empire was at the height of its power.
Hanc mit ad dominum et imperatorum nostrum, carolum magnum francum.
Deliver this to our Lord and Emperor Charlemagne the Frank. No one but him must see it. They are words for his eyes only. At once.
For his eyes only, you say, hmm? Oh, come on. How can I not read that shit, man? How could I avoid the temptation? This guy knows what's up.
What sorcery is this? A spell? I am bewitched. If this was meant for Charlemagne, then what will become of him? I have to warn him of this treachery.
So it was a trap. Some kind of spell was cast upon that scroll. Pharma commercial. Disembodied. Oh, really? I haven't seen that one, Awful Devil. It's very different. Yeah. No, I love this game, Bum Rocket. Like I said, it is one of my it is my favorite horror game for many reasons. Also, I'm gonna full screen for a second. Cause I want to fix this because I keep smacking it. Like I wanna be showing this off as well as I can because Gracie did such a good job with this, and it's like I want it to be on full display constantly. She did such. Love how this thing turned out. I just love the logo, man. It's so cool, and I'm looking forward and she'll be sending me the digital version as well. That way I can incorporate it into my iconography on stream and just general branding. Is he, yeah, like a friar or an acolyte? Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what. I can't remember his name. Anthony. That's right. Yes. I can't remember what his title is necessarily. Runs off towards the JPEG. Yeah. You can see some 2002. Presentation limitations from time to time, that being one of them. Some rooms with like open entrances are just flat JPEGs that are sometimes somewhat cleverly disguised, but other times it's pretty obvious what's going on there. Oh, what did he say? Describing the mission, the monk informs him Charlemagne was last seen. Okay, cool. Hopefully we didn't share with him all the details, especially because the guy that gave him this scroll, Anthony, this scroll, looks a lot like these mage lads, or these monk lads. His presence is questioned by the monks. He has trespassed upon sacred grounds, but he's rather subdued. Is he respecting Anthony? Is he fearful of him? Last seen in the audience with the bishop in the visiting chamber. I want to talk with all the homies. Except I can't see where he went. Guess some of them. Oh no, you can't talk to them, yeah. Disturbed with grief and despair, the monk sobs pitifully. This is not the only death to have occurred recently, and wonders if perhaps the order is being punished for a wavering in faith. So somebody has died then. The guy that went this way. Because I think they all have like different things to say. All the monks around here. I can't actually talk to him. He's like, he's praying or he's just chilling. He's T-bowing. Same with this guy here. Cordially greets Anthony, but it was the loss of one of his order who fell from the tower to his death. His tone is guarded, leaving Anthony wondering if indeed that is the truth. So here's the coffin. The order is awaiting the arrival of the bishop, so the funeral rites may begin. Okay. There's still much grieving. It's not the only recent death among the order. Interesting. A funeral casket made from unfinished wood. It could be opened. Should we just crack this open in front of everybody?
Oh my God.
Oh, Jesus.
This devil's work. We should get out of here.
You have
chest cavity ripped open.
The most. This poor man has been the victim of great evil. Look how his body has been defiled, as if something has burst out from inside him. Here, take this for your protection. And find the bishop. He must be informed of this horrible discovery.
So I think these monks are, like, chill. Because that first monk, the guy who gave us the scroll, was kind of sus. But this guy, like, he seems to get it. He's, like, disturbed, visibly disturbed by this whole thing. So the monks aren't all evil, but that one dude was kind of sus, obviously. Or just leave me alone with this corpse, by the way. Yeah, you can see his chest cavity just exploded out from inside. The name of the rose? I don't recognize that one, actually. Could it have been a face hugger? I mean, we know there are Lovecraft vibes. I don't know if there's, or I guess I'll say this. We've yet to see indication of Giger vibes rather. His raiment is that of his order, stained with blood that is seeped from many grievous wounds. It is a disturbing sight. Of course, it's not that bad by today's standards, but yeah, gruesome shit though. Nothing else to interact with over here, it seems. What's up, check? Well, yeah, we're nice and small. I'm a small little man. I'm a small little dude. Do you think it's too small? I mean, it's more or less the standard that I've seen other YouTubers and Twitch people use when they have like a 16:9 game. The only other thing I could do is, instead of having it be like a border, not a border, but like a part within the overlay, is just to have the game footage cover the whole screen, and then my webcam be like somewhere innocuous. But it's always tricky because all games have like different UI elements in different places, and it's like the webcam is always in the way of something if I do it that way. So I've yet to find a convenient way to do it all niftily. So there's muffled voices. So this is the bishop's visiting chamber, which is presumably where Charlemagne is. So we can hear them talking. Like, if you listen closely, it's just conversation. You know, they're just chilling. So nothing sounds grievous, but we need to get in there, because Charlemagne has people after him, it seems. And there's also a brutal murder that has occurred that he needs to know about. Charlemagne must be warned. That's correct. Well, let's see if we can go upstairs then. It's a Sean Connery film. Yeah, I don't recognize it, but it sounds interesting. Some superstitious kind of stuff, Middle Ages. I mean, I like all the things you just said, Bumrocky. That all sounds great. Yeah, this was the message scroll. Usually it transfers messages securely, but this had some kind of diagram with obviously a spell or a hex emblazoned upon it. Something strange happened, and it was intended for Charlemagne. Just got a cool weapon. Frank and Saxon weapons, using hefty blades, cutting and slashing attacks. Does not have a handguard, though. More offensive, not defensive. It is a... Can I pronounce this? A scramasax? Scramasax? It's a new style of saxophone. Oh, and what's this? A new sequence. So there's some statues here. Elia. Oh, that was the name of the dancer. A statue constructed of her. And there's Pius' statue, but it's only partly constructed. And there's a few things to note about that. For one thing, Pius destroyed a structure of himself right before entering the Essence Chambers. So you could make the argument that he was like removing his humanity in some kind of way, which explains what happened to him. Or we could just say that's where the rest of the statue is. But regardless, maybe these are the victims that the tome has taken, or at least the noteworthy victims, because Pius is half his humanity is gone, I guess, and Elia rather, was presumed killed. And there's other pedestals, so other victims perhaps. Look at this as we walk across this floor. Oh, it's so fucking menacing. So there it is, gripping the tome. A leathery hand lies a mysterious book bound in human skin. Oh yeah, we know the one. Beckons and yearns to be possessed. So we take the tome. And that flashback that just happened, we're going to see that a lot in each chapter. I think what the implication there is that we're as we pick up the Tome of Eternal Darkness, we like gain all the knowledge about the tome and about the happenings of this game rather. Whenever we pick up the tome, so it's like we suddenly have all the, like our character has all the knowledge and all like the know-how of what has transpired. Uh-oh. Anthony's looking not so good. So that hex is starting to affect him more and more. The start of Act 5. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, Bumrock. I can think of a couple of the games that use similar effects. So Anthony's becoming kind of sickened, so to speak. Yes, Anthony's next. I mean, he's looking not so good, man. He's looking like he's struggling. Now, we've seen this kind of thing before. But instead of like the square cement blocks, we now have urns. It's kind of neat. So we have a couple things here. We got the tome once more. It says the same description as it always does. Same as it ever was. Glazed with a rich cobalt blue. Very nice. Makes a very pleasant little noise, doesn't it? Feels like there's something rattling around in there, maybe. Interesting. Anything else around here? Nope. There's a lectern. No other details to note about it. Now there's this. Mysterious gold medallion. Mysterious indeed. Now this is going to be the game's introduction to magic. And we've seen magic, but now we get to use it ourselves. Well, not yet, but soon. Soon we'll be able to use it ourselves. The amount of power that a spell will have. More points, the stronger the spell. Magical incantations that enhance a character's natural abilities. There's a spell list, yada yada yada. There's also a quick spell function, which is very nifty. An experiment crafting new spells, runes for building the spells, and the quick spell is nifty for just quick castings without having to fumble with menus all the time. So, we don't have any runes available yet. Just the Circle of Power. So we can't do anything yet, but soon? Maybe not that soon, but relatively soon we will. So, again, nothing noteworthy. Oh, maybe there's something noteworthy. A book brings attention to itself. Pristine on the dusty shelf, it doesn't quite belong. I wonder. Oh, look at that. The old fake book in the bookshelf trick. Love it. Bewildering array of books, tomes, books of a religious nature, beneath a skein of dust, as if no one has touched them. Who reads books? That's shit's for nerds, right? Look out the window. Warm sunlight. Tiny dust motes drift. Caught in the rays of the dying sun. Oh, sounds pleasant. I have a feeling there's not a lot of other pleasant things to appreciate right now, so. Even in like Anthony's run cycle, you can see he's not quite as chipper, so you can see the hexes affecting him. Oh, a new friend. And he's got a rune inside of him. So if we defeat the beast... Sword is not very good. Look at that, yeah, when you behead the green lads... You can kind of see, like, the phantom limb that remains. Now, I guess I think I probably have to finish this guy to get the rune from him. So I usually don't like to finish him because I don't like to get the sanity back. I like to keep the sanity off so that we can have the fun effects. We got the magical rune, the first of its kind. But fear not, there's more things to fight. So now we can use runes to craft spells, although there's still more that we need. So I mean, I can say new spell, but it's going to tell us, like, yeah, there's more components we need. So, but we're getting there. We have a Circle of Power, and, oh, we need to identify it. Right, yeah, so that's something else we'll need to worry about. So I'm going to intentionally not finish these guys, because I want to keep the sanity off. How to get the sanity off and keep it off. What's up, JD? Yes, you're correct, my dude. We're playing some of my favorite horror game ever. Some more demons walk among us. Now you done did it. I'll save you. pick up. It is a torch. Whoops. Let me just miss all of my attacks. Alright, so let's check on our buddy. Sorry about the, you know, horrifying demons that were attacking you. He was carrying a sacred urn from the baptismal font, but confronted by the bishop, brandishing a large blade and eyes burned with an evil fire. Oh, that doesn't sound good. So the monk had the shit scared out of him, understandably, and ran away. So the bishop, saying he was brandishing a large blade and eyes burned. So maybe the bishop has been affected already. And we know the bishop has an audience with Charlemagne right now, so time is of the essence. Returning to retrieve the urn, he found the sword, but the bishop was gone. Okay. But now we have the sword. Yeah, the two-edged sword. His weapon is badass. I mean, the Scaramax is cool. Or, what's it called? Sacramax. Scramasax, whatever it's called. The Scramasaxophone is great, but the two-edged sword, this thing is dope. Two cutting edges. The bastard sword, or hand and a half, for the length of the hilts. Either one-handed or two-handed. Also got a torch, which is nice. Can be used to light our way or set enemies ablaze. So cool. Yeah, there's a number of weapons in this game that are very good, and the two-edged sword is one of the more noteworthy ones. Ambles around nervously, half expecting the demonic bishop to reappear once again. Oh, and I could target him if I felt mean, but no, this guy's a homie. He gave us a sword, so we're in his debt. What is this? Oh, okay. Well, we have a thing. Oh, pieces of the urn. Okay, cool. You hear that noise a lot, by the way. So we can combine things, which is nice with the mix function. Don't bite the hand that feeds. That's right. Don't bite the hand that arms. That's a weird sentence. Don't bite the arm that arms, or the mouth that arms, or the feed that. Yeah, it's getting weird. 2/3 of a broken urn. It's getting there. You can see we're kind of slapping it together. There we go. Full broken urn. So it's still broken. We need some kind of way to mend it. In the previous chapter, there was a dude that seemed to have magic for repairing things. I wonder if that is what is going to be in our future. Only one way to find out, my friends. Another rune inside the chest cavity, that zombie friend. Now, I wonder if I can light these motherfuckers on fire. What this? Carved stone tablet. Magical codex. So if you have a codex, it'll let you understand what the rune is. And once the rune is identified, you can use it in spells. So we have a rune that is unidentified. So we need a codex for it. And we have a codex without a matching rune. So we're kind of piecemealing things together, but we're still getting there. I can hear him. There you are. The power of fire compels you. Hell yeah. So these guys are weak to fire. Hell yeah. And we got a rune. Whoops. So that identified this one. So, Magormore is how you pronounce it, I guess. And it is the spell effect for items. So spells that involve items in some way. But we don't have enough to make a new spell yet. There's still more components that we need. But we're getting there. We're kind of piecing it together. Uh-oh. Being further affected by the hex, though. Oh, he's looking more zombie-like. Here, since we have this cool sword, we gotta use this shit, man. Oh, yeah, his walking animation also kind of weak. Check this shit out. Well, bam! Cut him in half. Oh, wow, I'm actually surprised this guy won against the green lads. Because the green lads, I assumed were more beefy than the crusty boys. Now that one looks special. I feel like that's one of the big ones. One of the big runes. Yeah, that's the Ulioth rune. We heard that name earlier. We know of Zelatoth, that's the green demon, but we have also heard the names Ulioth and Chaturga. So I wonder if this second to the top row here is for like the 4 big ones. And there's also one from Antarok, presumably. We just need a tanning bed. Yeah, when your skin is gray and sad like this, all you need is a good time and with some tanning, maybe. Nice and simple. Disturbing rendition of a monstrous devil. Isn't this the basement of a church? Why would they have this, like, satanic water pool? It's a fountain. What sickly liquid is this draining into the pool? Trickling from a scum-encrusted spout. I mean, it looks like water, but we'll take the game's word for it that it's, like, awful in some way. Red urn. Oh, and it's been filled. Very nice. Deep red shellac. The sheen of a bloody heart recently torn from its host body. Ugh. Fitting, given what we saw earlier. It's a circulatory problem. Yeah. Yeah, maybe all zombies are just misdiagnosed circulatory problems. Wouldn't explain why their head being removed doesn't cause any problems, but otherwise, it's just a deep misunderstanding. Strange sigil, filled with a foul-smelling fluid. It's piss. So we can't use this, obviously. It's still busted. Used together from a crude hole. Deep cracks mar the structure. It's almost complete, but it's not watertight, obviously. Maybe we could repair it some way. That'd be pretty cool. Now, can we just, like, fill this up now? This blue boy? Oh, shit, we broke it. The urn slips from Anthony's stiff fingers, dashing itself into fragments as it hits the floor. Well, goddammit. Anthony, you bungled it. Oh, but there was a rune inside, so it's good that he broke it. And that rune is special. That rune is blue. See? It's like fancy. So that's indicative then that this rune is special, because this one is just a lot of the normal runes just have like a yellow kind of color to them, but this one is blue. It's fancy. That's neat. Not everyone uses their head. I mean, you're not wrong. So now we can say new spell, but we're still pretty limited. So here's what it looks like when you try to make a spell based on limited things. I mean, oh, I guess we can still use it. So even though it's not identified, you can still make the spell. I was thinking you needed the codex for it to use the rune. So we made a spell with the two runes that we have, but one of them is unidentified. So it's just called Spell 1. We don't know what this does. Not all the components are identified, so we can cast it now, but we don't know what it does. Let's hold off. Otherwise, if you like try to use like an invalid rune set, like in this case, if we just say item, it just kind of sputters, nothing happens. So you can't like make any spell happen. There are a finite number of them. A lot of memories. Oh yeah, I mean, you know I love this game, JD. It's one of my favorites. And I would say that it is my favorite spooky game. It's always fun coming back to it. Poor Anthony, his like running cycle isn't as snappy. He's like slower, and obviously he looks pretty rough. Now we have this tapestry here. Soiled from the dank atmosphere, and there's corruption about it. Then it shall be cleansed with the holy flame of my torch. There we go. The spells are weird. Yeah, I like the spell system, and once you learn how to use it, you will quickly learn that it is very easy to get overpowered. So it's kind of busted, like it's kind of broken in a good way. But yeah, it is a little silly at times. I would say that's like one of the biggest like criticisms of the game is how the spell system works and just how combat works in general. Because yeah, once you learn how to enchant items with like certain power levels, then you just you just carve through bad guys like it's nothing. It's ridiculous. It's cool. Yeah, it is cool though. I like what they were going for. I like the notion of identifying spells. Oh, look at him. Same thing. Same thing as the other guy. His ambling presence. So a few things. Iron plate, carved with 3. Oh, curious indeed. Splashes of marred. It's pockmarked, worn surface. This must be the codex for the other rune we saw earlier, I think. So if we check... I just went past it. There we go. So it's project an item. Or maybe it's project. Project an item. So the one spell that we have... Whoops. Project an item. We still don't have it identified though. However, eagle-eyed viewers might have noticed this cool little thing on the desk here. An ancient scroll of what appears to be paper. Enchant item. Enchant item! So now, the spell we identified earlier, or well, we didn't identify it, the spell we crafted earlier has been identified. The runes for that spell match what we made earlier. So you can cast, you can assign them to quick spell slots, that kind of thing, which is nifty. And you can also check to see what the function does. So let's see what this is. A geometric symbol, small note. That which is broken shall be fixed. That which is dull will be sharp. So the enchant item spell. So it repairs things that are broken, and for things that are already whole, it enchants them or enhances them further. So Enterbach and Magamore, which we both have. Of course, it's walking us through how to set it. Quick spell, slots, and all that jazz. I'll set it to D up. Very good. Now we have a magic meter. So all three of our meters are visible now, which is great. And again, different characters have different amounts of maximum sanity, maximum health, and maximum magic. In fact, Elia had not a lot of health and not a lot of sanity. We don't know how much magicka she had because we never got to see it. But Anthony has quite a lot of everything. He's a pretty well-rounded dude, it seems. The meter does regenerate, though, whenever the character's in motion. So there's no restore... Well, there are later on ways to restore magicka manually. But more to the point, there are... you'll generally acquire it just kind of over time anyway. So, anything else? Arcane artifacts and texts. Reflects the unholy presence within the church. Something... a seething pit of inequity and evil. Indeed. Evil. This door is closed, though. Oh, that was the bishop we saw. Okay. That's the guy. Religious texts of an unspeakable nature. Written in languages utterable only by monsters or corrupt humans. Now, for those who joined me for the Extra Life Marathon a couple weeks ago, or I guess a month or so ago, we played several horror games that were part of the Haunted Cities packs. And in the Haunted Cities pack 2, I think, the first game in that pack was my favorite of all of them, and it reminded me so much of this level. The notion of some, like, cult or, like, evil religion that, like, permeated this monastery. Very similar to the stuff in this game, in this level specifically. That was part of why I liked that level so much. It was called, the name of that game was Monastery in that pack. So if we stay on this platform, we have enough weight to open the door. But once we leave, then it does not stay. Artifacts of texts, or Texas. I like to think that Texas is full of cool, spooky artifacts. So let's go back, because we need to repair things. We also need to fill them with water. Alright, so, a few things. This one's already filled, so we're good there, but these need to be repaired. So what we're gonna do, just to kind of show how it works, we'll say spell list, enchant item. Let's cast that shit. We only have one alignment, by the way, so there's different spell alignments as well. Doesn't really make a difference right now, but once we get more power levels, more like power levels meaning like more vertexes on these like emblems, these medallions, that will indicate how much power is behind the spell we're casting, and its alignment indicates what like ancient or what like flavor of magic we want to assign to it. We only have the one, so it's got to be Ulyaoth. We'll say it's water magic if we want to go by Pokemon, where green is leaf, red is fire, and blue is water. So let's cast this one. Let's enchant all the things that are broken. And the trick is not to move when a spell is being cast. If you move while it's being cast, it will get interrupted. For instance, behold. Fizzles out. And I think it still uses the magicka, so it's still important. Now I'm just using the quick spell thing that I assigned to the top left, or to top D-pad button. And that voice you hear reading off the names of the runes is different based on the alignment that you're using. And it may or may not be the voice of the ancient itself that you hear. Let's go ahead and fill these puppies up. Dunking the urn into the foul-smelling fountain. Filled with rank fluid, it's heavier and rife with fetor. So it's filled. Do the same thing here. Satisfying noise. Or maybe we're just pissing into it. Everything else should be good. There we go. And we haven't had any significant sanity effects yet. And we've even kept a pretty decent sanity profile up to this point. So here's the iron plate. Let's place these suckers. It sits correctly in place, but it's not heavy enough on its own. There's a few more down. There we go. That's what we like to hear and see. Alright. More narrow passages, which makes it tricky for combat. No bad guys, though. Oh, there's the man himself. The bishop, at least.
So, you have come to return my book.
Bishop's looking a little rough.
Then, for your efforts, I promise a quick and merciful death.
You need to fight him then, alright. I mean, you're unarmed. I've got a badass sword. He's slapping kind of like a zombie slaps. But he's ambling very slowly. And we're losing constant sanity. I keep hitting his head. Alright, well, we've killed the bishop. And we've lost sanity as a result of it. What do you think? Should I try to finish him? I wonder if he actually can't be finished necessarily. We have the key though. Shrine to a god that bespeaks of an ancient evil. Graced the earth before mankind walked its valleys. I don't see which evil it is. I mean, visually, I just see candles and spooky looking text. So I think the bishop has despawned. So yeah, he stays dead. Turns off cutting off his head is a good way to... is a pretty compelling argument. So see, I want to chop his head off, or his torso off. Looks like he's just without a shirt now. Alright, so we've lost a lot of sanity now. Cutting off the torso ought to do it. Oh, I guess it's just the part of the wall then. Finish him. Nothing else in here. We got the key though, which is a big one. Gold gem encrusted bishop's key, and the bishop's room is where it sounds like Charlemagne is. So if the bishop was in here, and we thought we heard voices inside the bishop's room, and that brings to mind many questions. We got to rush back then. And we're continuing to deteriorate though. You can see some splotches where his hair has fallen out. So like, it was kind of hard to see, but in that cutscene it was quick to see. But yeah, like, you can see he's really suffering. Oh, there's more friends. You see the way Anthony is looking kind of gives me an indication of where bad guys are. We have this badass sword. And chop shit down. Here, I'm gonna put the control down for a second. I saw something not too long ago on social media about this game, because of course, you know, there was Halloween and spooky games, that kind of thing. I want to set the controller down for a second and see if there's a particular idle animation we can get, because we saw earlier there are idle animations with different weapons with different characters. We saw the one with Elia where she sits down and kind of polishes the blowgun. I wonder if Anthony, if there's one in particular we can see that allegedly is a thing, which I did not know about until recently. Gives me a chance to sip my beverage as well. You know what? That was so good. Let's go for another one. Poor guy, you can see his arms are all, or his hands are all veiny. He looks kind of like how the bishop looked. Here we go. Check this shit out. Stabs himself, yeah. He's testing to see if he can even feel pain, so he's becoming so zombified. He stabs his own hand and feels nothing. I didn't know about that shit. There was a video that somebody showed on Twitter relatively recently that showed that off, and I was like, man, I thought I'd seen everything with this game, but there's still details I'm like still learning about. After so many playthroughs, there's still like little fun things I haven't picked up on, which is fascinating. Otherwise, we have everything else we need. Let's keep going. There's more zombies, so we're kind of having to fight our way through back the way we came. Oh! Okay, now I'm a zombie. Okay, well, that was a little bit too literal. Alright, so I can attack things. That's good. Alright, well, now I'm a zombie. In fact, I'm a green zombie, friend, so I'm like the mummy zombie. The ones that are harder to kill because... I mean, they're weaker physically, but when you take off a limb, they have like the phantom limbs that remain. Can open the door. Okay. I can do stuff. Yes, here we are. Now I'm controlling a zombie. Very suddenly. Oh, here, the zombies, can I fight them? Oh. Okay, that whole thing was a sanity effect, by the way. Poor Anthony, he's having a rough time of it, man. What's up, Inner Demon? Good to see you, bud. Oh, I know what this is. The trappers. I have nothing with which to deal with these guys. You need ranged attacks or something, some kind of range or magic attack to deal with these things. They look a little bit like the facehuggers, don't they?
What's going on here?
Yeah, I don't know if way to get past that one because you need a ranged attack to kill them. Or a magic attack. We don't have either right now. So this is the Trapper Dimension. Doing well, Inner Demon. We're playing my favorite horror game ever. Celebrating 1 million views on my Eternal Darkness video on YouTube. And also that video being 10 years old. Just doing a casual playthrough of one of my favorite games ever. So this is the Trapper Dimension, sprawling in every direction. So magic cannot be cast. Humans are subjected to odd phenomena. Portals cycle from colors and whatnot. There's only one for a quick escape. So, there's this purple one here, which looks encouraging. The red one leads over there. Green one's over there. Green would actually restore our sanity. Blue would lead to a thing that restores our sanity. Blue leads to a thing that restores our magic. Red might lead to a thing that restores health, but it's hard to see. I'm just gonna go for the one that's a quick exit, the purple one. Yeah, more crackling audio, sorry about that. So I think this is the exit. Unless there's like a thing we have to activate, but I think this should do it. There we go, so we're good. Now mercifully, when a trapper zaps you like that, the trapper dies after it uses its attack. So, thankfully he's gone now, but that is a thing to be to be aware of. Uh-oh. Are we shrinking? Oh my god, we're shrinking. Oh my god. As if I wasn't short enough already.
This isn't really happening!
That one I always find amusing. It's like, dude, I'm already short in real life, man. I don't need this shit. Trappers can sense... Yeah, they can't see things, so they can sense you very well. Just gotta sneak past them then. So that's where we gotta use... Analog stick, just sneak very slowly. Can't actually see where they are, but I can hear them. That's we're trying to be careful around the trappers. Oh, and have them not touch me if I can help it. I don't want them to touch my tra-la-la. They'll make that noise from time to time, but they'll make it more aggressively. Like that one. Once they like kind of detect you, if they can kind of smell you. Oh, the room is upside down. Well, god damn it. I can't reach the door when the room's upside down. Oh yeah, like it's like, yeah, that's what we need to do. We need to be up there actually.
This isn't really happening!
So we got another one. We're getting a lot of sanity effects now. For a while though, we were doing pretty alright, but now it's been much more noteworthy. So I'm gonna have to kill maybe one or two of these things, like finish them, so we have a bit of a buffer. It's not losing health. Stab one of them just to get a bit of a buffer back. We need more random shenanigans around me. I mean, I don't know. It's usually I just tell people, like, you know, use when it comes to the redemptions, use whatever, you know, people want to do. If you feel like there's nothing that you really want to utilize with the time warp scans, and you know, it's not something that has to be done necessarily. It has to be activated. But because I do recognize in the dark times it's a little bit trickier. I mean, I guess I could like get back up and turn the lights all back on, but I'm lazy, so I kind of prefer to just keep things where they are. This guy's still here, by the way. Ambles around nervously. Yeah, he's still here, and he's not that put off by our unsavory appearance, it seems. Stab him to death. I would if I could, honestly, but unfortunately they're, from what I can tell, impervious to melee attacks. Range attacks will do it, though. Yeah, there we go. There's a good indication of kind of the bald spots emerging from where his hair's falling out. What if it is really happening, though? Oh, poor guy. Look at that. His face is just falling apart. So, yeah, look at our motions. Even more zombie-like now. We can still swing the sword like it's no one's business, though. So we're clinging desperately on to whatever remains of our sanity and our humanity, for that matter. And also the blood-dripping ceilings. Very good. Just a bit of a topical cream. Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Just there's a cream solution for that, probably. I'm gonna give it another second to see if we can have an animation, like an idle animation, to see what he does now in the zombie form. Oh, is it the same one? Yeah, it's the same one where he stabs his own hand, indicating that he feels no pain now as his zombification continues. Oh, see that one? Or red. Oh, it's just the blood splatters. Okay, I was like, is that like a little red buddy? Uh-oh. Oh shit, son. New monster type just dropped. Alright, so this is a good instance. I should have been doing this earlier, actually. This is a good instance, perhaps, to use our enchant spell, not to repair something, but to imbue our weapon with additional power. We gotta be quick, though, because this monster will attack us if we wait. So our sword has been enhanced. Cream, just a single band-aid. That's right. Blood from the city. Yeah. We'll just open our mouth, just unhinge our jaw, and let the blood drip out down into our gaping maw. Kind of like the equivalent of going to like a soda fountain and just hitting the button and just dunking your head underneath it. Yes, blood ceiling is totally normal. Correct. Also, Woo, thank you for that raid, my buddy. How you doing, dude? Woo is always a good dude. Good to see you, my friend. We're playing Eternal Darkness. It's my favorite horror game ever. We're celebrating a video that I made almost exactly 10 years ago on YouTube. Recently crossed 1 million views. It's not that amazing, because 10 years to get 1 million views, it's not that like impressive, but it's still something it's still an achievement I'm happy about. It's a good excuse to play this game again. This game came out 19 years ago, and it's one of my favorites, and it is my favorite horror game. We got Kim, we got Lightstone, we got Kubos as well. How's everyone doing? We're gonna fight this big old monster friend. Smack him, yeah. Smack him. So he does have some pretty rough attacks himself, this monster lad. And as you saw, there's like this lightning, this energy that arcs from his fingertips every so often. I will go ahead and finish this guy to get some sanity back. There we go. So those guys are kind of tricky to fight, and they're very beefy, and they have a lot of just like passive attacks that'll hit you regardless. But having that sword enhanced or enchanted really helped us out. However, it's worth noting that if you want to be like a pro gamer, the best strat is when you're fighting a monster like that has a certain color about them, go by the Pokemon strategy, which is to say, if it's a green monster, if you have it, you want to enchant your weapon with red magic, because fire is strong against leaf or against grass. So red wins against green, blue wins against red, because water beats fire, and green beats water, so green wins against blue. So that's like, and again, we only have the one alignment right now. We only have the blue one, so we're limited. So that means the enchantment we just used on the green guy wasn't that effective. But later on that will come into play, and that's how you can get some very like overpowered enhancements, enchantments rather, for weapons and such. Ours is still enchanted for a little bit though, which is pretty nifty. About 100,000 a year. It was, I think it was more like when the year that I first uploaded it, it got a lot of views. It probably got about 300,000 that one year, and then kind of trickled from, you know, over the years after that. But it would spike up from time to time because like it's been featured in like a few Kotaku articles. I know Games Radar. I remember the Games Radar people actually emailed me one time asking for permission to include it in an article. I think so did IGN. So like it's been used in like a lot of articles about Eternal Darkness and about like top 10 lists of horror games, that kind of thing, which is kind of surreal. In fact, here, if you'll allow me to indulge real quick. Here, maybe I shouldn't just show this dead body. It's kind of fucked up, right? Here, I'll pause it real quick. If you'll allow me to indulge, I will show you one that comes to mind. So I can bring this up real quick. So I'm just going to type Eternal Darkness article into Google, and I bet it'll be one of the first ones. Because I remember reading this years ago and scrolling through, and it was a pretty good article. And then scrolling through it and like seeing a link to my video in it. Yeah, this was 2017. What's up, Dope? Good to see you, my friend. The Sanity Effects, that's right. Yeah, we got the Dutch angle. We were talking about that earlier. It feels like Battlefield Earth, right? Shit's wild. So here we go. If you'll allow me to indulge briefly, and I know Kotaku's not everyone's favorite. I think they've gotten better over the years. For a while that they were pretty not so great quality-wise. But yeah, they made this really cool article. I thought it was a good one about Eternal Darkness and like some of its literary references and the Lovecraftian influences, all that jazz. It was originally written in 2016, apparently. And yeah, there it is. That's me, Eternal Darkness. So it's like that's kind of cool. Like that's just right there, very prominently shown. So it's kind of cool seeing this in a couple of places. So like that, those placements would inevitably cause like, you know, a bit of a bump in views from time to time. So just over the years, over 10 years, yeah, we got that far, which is nice. And hitting this milestone, it's a good excuse to play this great game again. And I'm recording, of course, I'm recording the stream that I'm streaming right now, but I'm also recording the footage separately on a separate instance of OBS so that I can, if I ever wanted to, I can maybe cobble together a new version, a new and like updated version of that video, because it's an old video and the quality isn't very good. Now that I have better streaming hardware and a nicer computer, I can actually, you know, work with higher or larger files at least, so I could make a much more high quality version of that. So that's something that I'm kind of wanting to strive for eventually. Also, Mr. Gobby, good to see you, bud. Thank you for the shout out for our friends Woo, by the way. I see Woo, you're doing some Portal 2. Was it single player or were you doing like the co-op with some homies? Leave the dead body? Yeah, of course. Get back to the games, my friends. So, where are we at? So we have, I think, everything we need, actually. We just acquired the Bishop's Key, because the Bishop definitely handed it to us willingly, and we didn't murder him for it. Of course, he was also possessed by a demon, so, or something. And we ourselves are looking kind of zombie-like too, so we need to act quickly while what remains of our humanity is still in place. So the Bishop's chambers are over here, and we get to Charlemagne before it's too late. Still muffled voices, obviously. Let's use the key. So we were too late. We've succumbed to the curse.
You are a fool for trying to save him, Anthony. His fate was decided many centuries ago, as is the fate of this world. Despite your faith, there is little to save you from the power of Zalaman.
Yeah, so that's a thing. At the very beginning, we saw that corpse where it looked like something had burst out from underneath him. And we see these fucking demons. With no heads, oddly enough, just this swarm of lights where a head would be. Some spooky things, my friends. But anyway, yeah, so we have read that story, and you can see our sanity is still kind of down. Oh, hold on, I have to unmute the game. Boop, there we go. Buy me a sundae. Yeah. Just go out for a nice banana smoothie or something. So now we've kind of gone back to present times. We're reading all these stories about these things that have happened to other characters around the Tome of Eternal Darkness. People who have tangled with it in the past, or even used it to benefit or harm others. And as we're reading more and like piecing together the background of this tome and its magical powers, we're kind of like getting more background about like what Edward Roivas was studying, but we still don't know much about Edward Roivas himself. So still a lot that's yet to be seen. Still the Gladius, we still can't acquire. Oh, now we can acquire. Okay, so now we have this. So now, if we ever do need to defend ourselves, we have a weapon. So, in case it ever comes up. But so far, all the combat has been with the other chapters. Anything else around here? Stuff about the city. There's stuff about the temple. So we might be done with this room for the time being. We need to find more hints and preferably more pages of the Tome of Eternal Darkness. So, go out this way. See if we can poke around elsewhere. Oh. Well, that's awkward. Alex is looking at the ceiling as if she knows there's something. And again, she's lost a little bit of sanity. Not much, but a little bit. So it is no... Oh, there you go. Yeah, she's lost enough for where the walls are bleeding. That's always a good sign. So the clock cannot be modified further. Standing ominously with a patriarchal air. So let's say we have two keys, dresser key and second floor key. Second floor key will, well, it'll lead us to the second floor, right? At least it should. I think this is the observatory, so we don't want to go there. More bleeding walls, by the way. What do you guys think? Was it the front door? Or was it nothing? It's nothing. Alright. Or just our... Maybe it's all in our heads. Dresser key. I'm trying to think, what dresser would it be? I think I know which dresser they're referring to. Because there's nothing else locked on this floor other than the basement. So I think that's what this is. I think this leads to the basement. But it's locked, of course. Is there anything else in these other rooms? Now there was this. Colored sigil is carved. Now the color is different. I think earlier it was purple. But now it's green. So you might notice, of course, that we still have the spells that we learned in Anthony's chapter. So we can enchant our item. But, well, first, let's just try it as it is. Use. So the blade fits. It's good. We're gonna push back. There's some kind of magic that we need to deal with here. Okay. So in that case, let's try enchanting it. Because again, we have the magic and the runes and the spells that we acquired in the previous chapters. So Anthony learned the spell, and now we have learned it as well. So let's cast it. We only have the one alignment. If the sigil is green and we only have blue, it's probably ain't gonna work. But let's try it. Give the old college try. Here we go. Stab. Still not quite it. So yeah, we'll need the green magic to be able to get in there. I've never heard that one before. Is the fireplace scoffing at us? Pounding on the doors. All these, like, seemingly minor sanity effects. Yeah, Nothing else in here, I don't think. There was this though. Okay, so even though we've learned about these runes, we still can't use this passage at all yet. But later, I think we will. All right, I say let's go up to the top floor then. Second floor, at least. I think there's only 2 floors. I never actually looked over here. Also, even though we don't need the enchanted blade right now, it does look cool with its cool glowiness. Second floor. Key at your service. But it broke. Perhaps there's a way to repair it. Well, yeah, we actually just so happen to have a way now, at least. We actually have the quick casting right here. It's been repaired. Maybe, hopefully it's stronger this time. Won't snap inside the lock. There we go. And here we are. Second floor, get. Look at this pristine landscape. So pretty. Luscious mountain valley. Delicately rendered. Time has taken its toll in the painting, though. It's soiled with dirt and scratches, but still, it's pretty nice. Nice little horsey. Ooh, carpet's looking pretty rough, though. So it sounds like Edward Roivas was not really maintaining the top floor very well. Well, so there's a number of things to... Oh, hello. Now, I think it's of Julius Caesar, but it kind of looks like Vladimir Putin. And our sanity is low enough, you can see in the top left, our sanity is low enough where we're starting to get very... mostly harmless, innocuous effects, like statues' heads following us. I like to think the statue's like, damn, girl, like he's doing one of those kinds of things. What's up, whale? Good to see you, buddy. What is this painting? We don't get any details, it's just this nightmarish-looking thing, honestly. So we don't get any details, we can just look at them and, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of interesting, like, if you move quickly... Oh, whoops. If you move quickly and then look at the dude, you'll catch him with his head still moving, which is kind of neat. Good to see you, bud. We're playing my favorite horror game ever, Mr. Whale, so I'm having a very nice time. This game always inspires and good and horrible things. Revolver. Oh, here we go. So now we're getting more melee weapon or ranged weapons. Our first ranged weapon would have been the blow dart gun, blowgun that Ilya had. But now we're getting guns. Actually, I guess technically the prologue had a gun, like the beginning intro sequence, but it was a shotgun, but you couldn't really like see what it was, or like there was no obvious significance to it necessarily. We're questioning the presence. I'm Alex. Questioning the presence of a lush landscape amidst other morbid pieces. A single ray of hope encircled by the encroaching darkness. I'm guessing this was Edward's bedroom. It looks awfully nice. Or ominous noises, though. No details, by the way. We're just looking at it. Curiously has no keyhole. Just a small triangular design. Okay, so we would need some kind of magic spell, probably, to open up this particular dresser. And of course it needs green magic, which we do not have. So, and the only spell we have is enchant items, so this wouldn't really do us any good. What is painting? We don't know. But there's no details to be gleaned, just looking at it. Appreciating it for all of its splendor. The bedroom here. So, is this a door? Oh, it's like a, okay, it's like a closet, or like a storage area, like bathroom storage. Got a turlet, and a journal entry from Maximilian Roivas. Now, Edward's name, well, her grandfather's name is Edward, so Maximilian must be a different ancestor. Also, we have gun ammo. Revolver, very good. One of my favorite Beatles albums. So Maximilian, it doesn't say which journal page number it is. Everything that brightened my life now engulfed me in darkness. I fed on the light of truth, yet starved on the shadows of lies. I have learned through my lifetime, but no less than a newborn baby, he says. Said, rather. So, oh, okay, this is page 1. So, Maximilian Roivas Doesn't sound very good. Sounds like he was having a rough time with something. Anything else here? Anything here? Okay, that's... I almost wondered if I should give you guys, like, the heads up. That's the only, I would argue, the only jump scare in this game. There's a couple of other, like, spooky ones. Like, spooky moments. But, like, that's, like, the... That's one that, like, freaked me out pretty good back in the day, man. It's pretty tame by today's standards. But it's so, like, innocuous. It was like, oh, examine. Because there's nothing in the bathtub. Yeah, I remember seeing that shit when I was a kid. And when I was like, well, not when I was a kid. I was like 14 years old. And I remember being like very much like affected by it. I was like, well, I think I'm just going to take showers for, I mean, by that age, I was mostly taking showers anyway. But it's like, don't think I want to take a bath anytime soon, man. Be on edge from what, yeah, that's exactly it, Dove. That's how it is for me too, man. Because that was pretty much how it happened for me too. I think I wasn't even trying to look at the bathtub. I was trying to look at like the area next to it. So it's like you want it to be fairly organic. Also, don't you hate it when your paintings start bleeding? I hate when that happens. I need to put a band-aid on there or something. But yeah, that shit is... That's like... I maybe Dope or others who know this game well could disagree, but I think that's like the most egregious jump scare this game has to offer. I think it attempts jump scares a couple times, but I don't think it really succeeds. I think from that point on, that's the only like noteworthy one. Everything else is pretty docile by comparison. Because this game, I would say, succeeds more with like the atmosphere and the writing and just the brooding and creepy nature of the game. It's more about what it doesn't show you, or like what it hints, for me at least. I didn't, it's correct, yes, I never even touched water until I was 29 years old. Some of the sanity effects, yeah, some of the sanity effects are like startling, but it's more like because you're already on edge is where it gets you. It's not so much like a gross out sanity jump scare kind of thing like that one was. Some of the sanity effects are more just like a surprise. Ooh, look at that little sneaky guy tucked behind the painting. A chapter page, yes. The Gift of Forever. Okay, this is the one I was thinking of earlier. Oddly proportioned painting of a Napoleonic man of some variety. Maybe an intentional exaggeration. It's an odd, quirky feeling. Yeah, his giant head and small little torso. Yeah, Dope. I know the one. I know the exact one, my friend. And then there's a... Oh, wait. Hold on. Is this the... Yeah, this isn't a dresser. Yeah, it's not it. It's like a gun rack or a gun closet. Look at Edward being a responsible gun owner, having like his stuff locked up. A musty aroma in the air. There fine dust. No one's been in here for a while, though. It's a museum of sorts. Guess he didn't have to use his guns all that often, which is probably for the best. If a telephone, like an actual modern telephone. Oh, it does look like Salazar, yeah. Yeah, it does look like Salad Bar. Oh, JD, you missed the bathtub, by the way. And depending on how you feel about that, that can be a good thing or a bad thing that you missed it. If it were me, I'd be like, okay, good. I kind of don't want to get traumatized by that shit all over again. Okay, we've seen all there is in this game. We have a page of the tome now in our possession. We could read that right now, or explore a little bit further. Now that was interesting. And again, this hallway is not very well maintained. Yeah, there's this kind of indentation in the wallpaper here. Oddly marred. Yeah, it doesn't like sit with the rest of the room. Maybe there's something behind here, maybe? We don't know, because we can't get through here. Maybe a spell, or maybe some other piece of equipment to let us through there. Hard to say. So there was a, let's see, we just came from this door. Let's check this one next. It's like Silent Hill, we're going room by room. Oh, it's too dark. There's a broken circuit, maybe? Okay, so that room is a mystery then. More skeletal, swirly paintings of sorts. Kind of some kind of remaster, yeah. Yeah, because, Dope, you probably know about this, as well as other devotees of this game will know that Silicon Knights famously went under, and through very unsavory bit. Right, so there's a thing here. Maiden clasps a piece of parchment in her hands. Window gives Alex a strange feeling. Something magical, maybe not really there. There's a glowing field though. Ouch, and it hurts. That does us no good. So there's a glyph. In fact, that's a special glyph, but we can't get it yet. We need to come back later. But anyway, so Silicon Knights, the developer for this game, famously went under due to some pretty unsavory business practices with like breach of contract with Epic, with the Unreal Engine for, I want to say, 2 Human was the Unreal Engine game that they tried to make that, well, I mean, they succeeded in making it, but it didn't sell very well, and they didn't have a proper license when they tried it, when they did make the game, and they tried to sue Epic because they were saying that they weren't supporting their license very well, but then Epic was like, you don't even have a license for our engine, so they countersued, and Silicon Knights lost bad, and they lost all this money, and the studio went under because they stopped making, they like just couldn't make any good games after a certain point. So they made this game, they made the Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes remake of Metal Gear Solid 1. They made, I think, X-Men Legends, which apparently wasn't that good, but had a high budget at least, so they wanted it to be good. So anyway, so Silicon Knights had these unsavory business practices. They went under famously, and it's a shame because there was at one point indication that maybe there was a sequel planned for Eternal Darkness. And then Dennis Dyack, the CEO of Silicon Knights, footsteps. The CEO of Silicon Knights formed a new company and tried twice to do a Kickstarter for an Eternal Darkness spiritual successor. Not really a sequel, but like a spiritual successor of the game. And the Kickstarter was wildly expensive. It was unreasonably expensive. And this was their first project that they were going for. Like, they formed this new company and they said, out of the starting gate, Eternal Darkness sequel, or remake, or spiritual successor. And people were so dubious, understandably, of Dennis Dyack's business practices and his unsavory bullshit that he had pulled, that, yeah, both Kickstarters failed spectacularly. I think the first time it was like a $1 million or several $1 million goal, and then the second time it was like a couple $100,000 goal, and it got like $10,000, maybe $100,000 pledged, and got nowhere close. So the Kickstarter failed spectacularly. Dennis Dyack apparently is kind of a dickbag, as others have told it. There have been a number of articles that have kind of talked about how he treated his employees, and some of the bullshit that like kind of marred the development behind X-Men Legends and 2 Human, and how a lot of the drama with the Epic games, or the like the Unreal license, were due to his tinkering. So like his name on something is pretty much a guaranteed like not good thing nowadays. So yeah, as much as I would love to see, like Dope was saying, like a legit sequel or remake or spiritual successor, I don't know if it's gonna happen. And if it ever does happen, it can't have Dennis Dyack at the helm, because the dude, it's pretty hard to trust, honestly. Thank you, Rose, for that follow, by the way, my friend. Hope you're doing well. We have a new page. Actually, I realized I didn't have to come back here. Kind of like that idle animation. I didn't have to come back here to read the page, but it seems appropriate since we have a new page to read, a new chapter to read. Might as well come down this way. Hire professionals to, yeah, it's not the best quality job, I would think. Good effort of modern remaster, like a good Road Rash. Yeah, because there's Road Redemption, but that's more of like a modern reimagining, not really a remake necessarily. Use it for free. Yeah, it's something like that, Woo. Like there was some kind of breach of contract, and because they were selling a commercial product, it fucked them over. Yeah. Tried to pledge, but they both fell through. Yeah, exactly, Dope. Yeah, it's a sore subject for a lot of us fans of the game. But like, yeah, it's like what they should have done is they should have started with like smaller projects and kind of win back more of that public trust. Because this all was, I mean, Silicon Knights went under in like I don't know, I want to say like 2006, maybe 2007. And then the stuff with the Kickstarter was like 2012, I think, maybe 2013. So it wasn't that long after all that stuff went down. So to say that it left a bitter taste in people's mouths would be a grotesque understatement.
Modern psychology offers only unproven theories. Some see them as the meaningless tossing and turning of a brain settling into a restful sleep. Others see them as laden with symbols of our unconscious desires. To still others, dreams represent the upwelling of the archetypes, normally hidden deep within the recesses of the human collective unconscious. Of one thing I am certain. After a brush with the ancients, our dreams metamorphosize into nightmares.
In the top left, of course, it shows the time table that we're in, as well as the country, which is kind of neat. I forgot about that detail. And that is a good indication of where we are. And when we are.
I have implored you for years, yet you ignore all my advances. You dominate my dreams, and I can think of nothing else. I fear I desire you many 100 times more than you love me.
My life has become a waking dream, Karim. For weeks, I have dreamed of an ancient treasure, so precious that it changes all life around it. It must be mine, Karim. If you truly desire me, as you say, then you will find this for me. Bring this treasure to me, and I will be yours. Both of our dreams will come true.
I need nothing more than you. You have enthralled me to the point where I can think of nothing else. Promise, if I leave, you will not forget about me.
You need not worry. I desire nothing more than the treasure that you seek. Leave now, Karim, and I shall await you.
This definitely isn't going to lead to anything bad, right? Well, they know your name. So when Pius was here, it was in what would later become Persia. Karim is here now. Karim, rather. He's got a cool sword. There's a talisman, that's cool. And in his family, bestows long life. Oh, restores health, okay, cool. And we also have some throwing chakrams, a ranged weapon, which is nifty. Favorite throwing weapon throughout Central Asia. Sometimes beautifully decorated. Be hurled at an attacker. Heavy ones could sever limbs or even heads. But they weren't, but of course, yeah, they don't boomerang back or anything. Got the Tulwar, that's right. I can thank games like Diablo 2 for like teaching me names of various swords and pole arms and axes and just different weapons. So it's kind of like a falchion. Circular hilts, easy to recognize. Yes, very cool. And you can see in the pause menu, Karim's a pretty hearty dude. He's got a lot of health. Not a ton of sanity, though, and not a ton of magic, but he is a beefy boy. Endangered the world, that's correct, yes. Yeah, what's the secret, the treasure that she seeks? I wonder. Well, it may or may not be related to all the happenings in this scary game, so I guess we'll have to find out. Seems like a pretty fair, you know, system they've agreed upon, though, and I'm sure it definitely won't lead to any bad things happening to good people. And again, we actually have some actual music, like melodious music, and not just creeping, dreadful ambience. So it's worth noting that Karim makes no notes of the crusty zombie corpses, crusty zombie bodies. However, this dude corpse is like, oh, shit. So he's been wounded most grievously. Can climb down the ladder. Because, yes, I'm pretty sure the indication is that this is exactly where Pius was, at least many centuries before. That was your nickname, and that's a good one. That's a good one. And here we are again in the Chamber of Eternal Darkness, where we will acquire the tome. I never noticed that in the background there, that mural of skulls and bones and nightmares. Thank you, Dope, for that follow as well, my friend. Thank you, my dude. A fellow Eternal Darkness devotee, a fellow intellectual. It's always a pleasure. we're out there, you know, dope. We out here, baby. There's not a lot of us, but we're out there. And there's Anthony. So he was the protagonist of the previous chapter, and I think the idea is that when you see a statue like this, it means they were a victim. Well, but there's a lot of victims. I mean, Charlemagne died, was killed even because, like, due to the cult that surrounds Pius and these zombies and these monsters. I think these statues are more so like the good guys that fell in combat, like the protagonists that died fighting the good fight. I think that's what they're going for here. So anyway, we walk ever closer. The floor continues to scream and howl. I mean, we are stepping on their faces, so I guess it probably doesn't doesn't feel very good. The tome is ours. Nope, but the monsters didn't like that. So again, we got like that kind of sequence where we gotta try to be a little bit faster. There's a lot of boys, and they're all back in town. We got that sequence where we kind of got the vision and like see all the knowledge the previous heroes have seen before us. And as a result of getting the tome and seeing all their previous knowledge, we have the spells that they have as well. So we also have enchant item. I'm gonna do that shit now, actually. I don't need it per se, but it's kind of neat. An early day tomorrow. Oh yeah, no worries, Dope. No worries, bud. Oh yeah, no, it's totally fine. Thank you, Dope and Woo. Thank you again to Woo for that very generous raid. Thank you all for being here, my friends. I'll be going. This will probably be the last chapter of the night, but yes, I too shall return. Not tomorrow, but on Wednesday. I usually stream Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for single-player games, and then the weekends are usually for multiplayer games and like community games, like Jackbox, that kind of stuff. Oh, I didn't even do that. I wanted to inspect this guy, because he's still dead, still a corpse. Yeah, so I typically stream Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday for single-player games, but this week is slightly different. It'll be Monday, Wednesday, Thursday instead. So a slight deviation. Oh, more friends. It's worth noting that our cool weapon, even though it's enchanted in a way that doesn't make it more effective against fighting these guys specifically, it still does more damage. And also looks cool, which is more important. We're easily, like, cleaving entire torsos off these guys, as if it was NBD. We have a statuette. I'll grab it. Now, I don't know how we're storing this quite large statue, but we'll just assume we have horror movie or horror game protagonist endless inventories at our disposal. Look at that, we chopped his torso off, and the rest of his torso is just like chilling here, like looking like it's quite bothered. Bruh, why'd you just chop my torso off on me? This guy's got a thingy. It's a fancy man's. Smack the fuck out of him. There we go. Magical rune, very good. What kind of rune? Well, we need the codex to identify it, so we don't know what it is yet. But we have it, which is neat. And I'm intentionally trying to not get a lot of sanity. I'm trying to be insane in the membrane. Maybe also insane in the brain. So I'm intentionally not finishing things off. Anything else here? Up we go. And Kareem is looking at something. Oh, it's the blood dripping from the ceiling once again. It's a crunchy noise. Oh, we probably have to do things here, don't we? So braziers surround the edge. Large one tops its summit. Each one will be filled with incense. Prayer and such. That makes sense. So we have a statue. And place that somewhere. We need something else. Unless we already have... Wait, hold on. Let's check the spell list. Maybe there is something that we got. Or the rune list, rather. So it was this guy. Yeah, we don't know what it is. Might have been something that I missed in the previous room. Yeah, nothing there. Oh, never mind. Oh, I thought we needed... Okay, never mind. I thought we needed that puzzle solution to open up that barrier. I think that barrier, the rune on that barrier, was this rune here. So we need this rune to pass, even though it's not identified. So that works then. This torch is all glowy. Let's grab that shit. Setting bad guys on fire. You know what? Let's actually use that shit real quick. You okay, Karim? You sound like he was about to say something. Now, here's a different codex. I recognize that symbol. That's the one for Zelatoth, the Green Lady. So we have her codex, but we're not going to get her rune for a while, though. Another statuette has been acquired. Kareem's not sounding so good. He's lost a lot of sanity, though. Does this go anywhere? No, it does not. I mean, I guess if I was fighting this many zombies and watching them burn to death, I'd be a little bit affected, too. Oh, you know, it just occurred to me, I haven't saved in a hot minute. I should be saving every so often. Look how mad he is in that thumbnail. He's mad. He's pissed. Save early, save often. That is the mantra we all repeat to ourselves. Another crunchy. Yeah, sorry about the audio. I know sometimes it gets a little bit weird. Don't mind the shrieking, gnashing of teeth you hear in the background, though. It's fine. But yeah, because I'm using a non-standard setup, it does mean that, yeah, I'm unfortunately having to deal with some less than savory audio effects from time to time, some artifacts of sorts. With the chakrams, though, just perfect for dealing with these fools. Not a moment too soon. We only have so many of these things, though, so gotta use them sparingly. Right, so we activated... Oh, right, yeah. This thing, which I guess is an elevator? Lifting mechanism. Let's go down. Descend into madness. Yes, the blood monkeys. That's right, Farfanugan. Little blood monkey creepy crawlers. Be brave, Kareem. No comment on the dead soldier. He's just here. Getting more spooky noises. We're gonna see if there's anything on the side to appreciate. Oh, we hear noises. Pool of cold blood is a dead soldier. Victim of an unseen battle. Did he die from the claws of the monsters here? Difficult to tell. Uh-oh. Hearing monster noises as well. This one's got a sword in his back. Ravages of a Tulwar sword. Wounds deep and numerous. Seep fresh blood. So yes, I was gonna say, if it was monsters, they wouldn't be using weapons like this. This was a man's action. A human's action, at least. We can wield 2 Tulwars, which is awesome. Yes, sir. Dual Tulwar? Abso-fucking-lutely. You kidding me? Hell yeah. So cool. Oh, okay. We all kind of knew that was going to happen, most likely. Oh, he's fast. Why are you so fast, dude? Your organs are like hanging out, dude. That combo's so cool. Kareem's a badass, dude. I always liked his chapter. He's got some cool combat abilities. Oh, Jesus. Our first encounter with these things. I will go ahead and finish him. Finish him. So I can get some sanity back, because that buffer will be helpful. So it's like a body snatcher of sorts. Now these guys are otherwise normal, I think. There's 2 of them, right? Yeah. Okay, so that wasn't the only one that was special. That was the one that was stabbed in the back. I guess it wasn't enough to kill the beast inside. What are you doing? Oh, you're bursting another chest burster. Oh, look at this. This guy doesn't have a head. Not really, actually. Wow. So with no head, I have no head I can target. So yeah, it's like, yeah. So I'm gonna kill both these guys. Because if we're dealing with chest bursters now, I'm gonna want a bit of a buffer then. So another dead man. Had a beard hair in my mouth, by the way. Another dead man. Unwary soldiers maybe stumbling inside, or grave robbers maybe looking to plunder. There's a scroll though. Oh, recover. That's useful. Well, except not terribly useful right now, at least. Here, I need to get some health back. So let's use a quick talisman casting. Oh. Okay, sanity effect. Now, I think that might be scripted, because I think I see that always the first time I try to use the talisman. Let's use it for real this time. I think that might be a scripted sanity effect. Because usually you're not supposed to get an exploding torso from healing. Usually healing is supposed to keep your torso from exploding. So that's a thing. Otherwise, so we have a new rune. Oh, that's Hellbro, or I'm sorry, Hell Hero rather. Sorry, I misread the screen name. Thank you, Hell Hero. I remember you from last time. Thank you for being here, my friend. From last time you rated me. Hope you are doing well. You guys are doing some Halo Infinite. How are you liking it, dude? Thank you, Augusta, for the shout out as well to our friends. Yeah, how's Halo Infinite? Is it single player stuff or multiplayer stuff you're doing right now? We're playing Eternal Darkness, as you probably have already guessed. This is Karim's chapter, one of my many favorites. We have a new spell that we just learned, but I don't think we have the stuff for recover. The transfer of magical power to restore things, body, mind, and spirit and such. So we need Neroketh and Santak, neither of which we have. So it's also worth noting that I can spoil this for you, dear viewer, that what you recover is based on the alignment that you choose. And we only have one alignment rune, that's the one for Ulyaoth. We'll eventually get all 3 of them, for Xelatoth and for Chattur'gha, but for now we only have Ulyaoth. That means, and the one that is blue restores the blue bar, and the red one restores the red bar, green restores the green bar. That means the Xelatoth one restores sanity, the Chattur'gha one restores health, but the blue one restores magicka, which doesn't really help because you have to cast magicka to restore magicka, and it restores about the same amount. Maybe you get a little bit more out of it, but it's not much. So getting this spell now is actually not that helpful because we need more alignments to cast it with, but it's still a step in the right direction though. But you're loving it so far, liking the campaign, Hell Hero. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, there's a couple streamer friends I know that are playing it on Legendary right now, and apparently it's pretty tough on Legendary. But I'm glad to hear you're liking it so far. I've heard a lot of good things, and it's quite different compared to other Halo games, but a lot of people seem to enjoy it, which is very good to hear. We're playing an older game, a much older game by comparison. This is Eternal Darkness. Came out for the GameCube in 2002, so it's a pretty early GameCube game. It's my favorite horror game ever, and I'm loving the shit out of it. Colored such. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. I thought we were getting Xelatoth much later. Drain pustule before it can heal. Yeah. Just remove the torso. Just delete it from your body, so that you can heal your grievous wounds. That's correct. Engraved in the metal. So you can insert a blade, but you can tell already we need something to enchant this thing. Otherwise, so if I would have to enchant here. Let's go ahead and enchant our weapons real quick. Because again, we only have the one alignment. That's the only one we have. Oh, so you've played this game before, Hell Hero. Excellent. Yeah, so you know this game's great. What's your favorite chapter, Hell Hero? Oh, yeah, if you gotta get to bed, that's totally fine, too. Thank you again for that raid, my friend. Oh, I still can't... Okay, so I guess the Tulwar isn't what you use, then. It's gotta be something else, then. Another different kind of weapon. It's the only way available. We have some friends. Smack. Oh, we have buggies. See the bugs on the screen? There's one fly. Or actually, maybe it's not a bug. Maybe that is an actual fly on your screen, dear viewer. I don't know. He's right there. There he is. I'll try and squish him for you. Alright, he was just the one. That wasn't too bad. What's that word? Coruscating? That's a cool word. Oh, there we go. Now we get more buggies. Got some big boys, too. Oh, you're still alive. Ouch. And they don't really mind the blue too much, because these are green lads. So they're actually extra strong against blue, because plant is strong against water, if we're going by Pokemon rules. Just a wriggling pile of lads. I'm gonna kill a few of them, maybe just one, so kind of a buffer of sanity. In Soviet Eternal Darkness, game plays you. So we can't get past that barrier yet. We need another rune. Once we have the rune on our possession, we'll be able to pass that barrier. And here it is, I think. Yeah, these sanity effects are definitely one of the many, many great things about this game. Ouch. Ouch. Oh, he sucked my mana, my magicka. It's not very nice. Yeah, usually my strat for these guys, just target all 3 heads and you'll be good. Because he has 3 faces. If you cut all 3 faces off, then the rest of the beast will perish. So the rune acquired, and there's the codex. Oh, for a different rune, never mind. I think it's one we saw earlier, actually. Big boy's missing a torso, yeah. Well, it was like a hollow torso that had a rune inside of it, but yeah, same general idea, honestly. Let's see, so what do we have? We have... That one's still unidentified, obviously. Same, or this one. We have the rune, but we don't know what it is. We have the definition, but not the rune itself. And we just got self. Oh, wait, no. We just got... What is it? Hold on, let's double check the spell list. We need Naroketh and Santek. So this is Santek, but we don't have Naroketh. We have Project Self. We could do Item Self, but I don't think that would do anything. Like, you can try to, like, kind of fuck around and slap things together, so let's say Project Self. That's not really a spell. Is there a spell for... Item Self. No. So it's like... There are a finite number of spells in the game. It's not like No Entry where you can just combine anything. It's a little bit more limited, obviously. But it's kind of fun poking around. It's fun experimenting, if nothing else, just seeing what's out there. Alright, so I think that was the rune that we needed. Oh, are we getting big? I think we're getting bigger. Oh god, I can't fit through the door anymore. Oh god. Not really happening. Okay, you're right. You're right, Kareem. It's fine. It's all in our head. Oh, shit. Didn't expect to see you guys here. Kill him fast. Just the one? Yeah, just the one. I think. Yeah, it's like usually if you enter a room like that and you can see the stance for your protagonist is like guarded, like they're kind of walking with, like at the ready. It means they probably know of an enemy nearby that you, the player, might not be aware of necessarily. So in that instance, yeah, it's like you'll kind of have to trust the game's indication. I don't know what kind of monster though. Yeah, we became embiggened temporarily. Legacy can use some similar ones. That is cool. Yeah, that's good to know. I'd like to play those games at some point. I know the first one is on Good Old Games now. So I think that was originally on PlayStation 1 and maybe PC back in the day, but having a PC variant available to play is kind of nifty. There we go. So that was Naroketh's definition. So we had the rune for Naroketh. We didn't know the definition for it though, so we just found the codex for it, so we can recover. But again, we can only recover blue, which it recovers mana, and we have to cast mana to recover it. So it doesn't really make sense. So the ceiling has collapsed, which is convenient because this, I think, is where the Ancient's Chamber, or the Essence Chamber was. For all 3 essences that we saw earlier. Karim, looking so cool and heroic. Ooh, and a cool new sword thing. Grab that shit. And if I recall correctly, this thing is badass. The Ram Dao, that's right. One of my favorite melee weapons, perhaps my favorite melee weapon in the game. It awaits its next owner. I be that next owner. Oh shit, son. So the game gave you a new toy. It's time to try that shit out. Oh, you hear that audio crackling? Oh boy. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I don't know if there's a way around that, but hopefully it is. Hopefully it's only on the stream end and not on the recording end as well. Let's try to enhance this real quick. Oh, I'm getting interrupted. This thing has such a great range. Smacks them completely down. Cuts them a twain with that little spinny attack. Let's finish some of these fuckers off, that way I can get some sanity back. To keep losing health. One more. One more for the road. Let's do a quick heal. Lost about half my health. There we go. Oh, there's more where that came from. There we go. Let's enchant this bad boy. Now we can really cause some damage. That spin attack is so cool. I just love cutting an entire motherfucker in half. Like a badass. Let's kill some more guys and get a bit of a buffer of sanity. And that finishing move cut him in half as well. There we go. What's up, Luna Waffles? Old school politics. Wait, is my category set wrong? Oh, we have some greeny boys now. Smack. Can I carve these guys in half? Not quite as well. You know what? Hold on, I'm gonna finish this guy now. He's gonna look at me. Yeah, I was ready for you that time, homie. I'm gonna knock him down. See if this works. There you go. Yeah. Much better. Whoosh. Like that sound effect. Oh, because it's a madhouse. Oh, okay, yeah, I couldn't quite understand the connection. Good to see Luna Waffles. Yes, this is my favorite horror game ever. It's called Eternal Darkness. It's a GameCube exclusive. And it's my favorite horror game ever, and it's one of just my favorite games just in general. Just gonna burst into a chest burster. Oh my god, I'm just gonna miss. Oh god, please don't hurt. That's so fast. And I can't hit him. Maybe if I knock him down first. There we go. There we go. That's how you do it, baby. So we've killed him and gotten the rune inside of his chest. I know you don't, motherfucker. Alright, time to kill some things because I've lost a lot of sanity. In fact, I'm out. So he's done. We have the rune now. Let's go ahead and use the heal again. Still modded? Yeah, still modded RimWorld. Actually, no, it's moded RimWorld. Just like you said. Hey, now the door's open. So we had to work really hard. That was the green one, the Zelatoth rune. So now we can cast things with the green essence, which means if we have to fight blue things, we could enchant our weapon with green magic to do well against blue, leaf magic to do well against water. We could also restore sanity if we wanted to, but I don't really want to just yet. So the sanity effects are one of the most exciting things about this game, for me at least. Anything else in this room? We were in this room last time, as Pius at least. That's because, yeah, that's right, we found the Mantarok. Oh no, this is where we put all the cubes. Except the holes have been filled in now. There's nothing else here, nothing to examine or investigate. It's a badass new weapon. And it is indeed quite badass. Alright, that's the ladder, right? That way, yes. And this way is closed. Yeah. Okay. So up we go then. So there was a door that was locked. And this was not it. Nope. That ain't it, fam, yeah. There's a door that was locked with a sigil. And a shape that was like an opening that was big enough for a blade to fit through. Yeah, they're a little sad. So this right here. Insert a large blade. Well, I have a large blade. How... Oh, thank you for the cheers. Sternsy, how you doing, Sternsy? Best game? I mean, I'm a little bit biased, but I'd be inclined to agree with you, my friend. How you doing, Sternsy? This is my favorite horror game ever. What's up, Lady Samus? Yeah, Lady Samus, same thing. A fellow intellectual. Look at all these smart people in the chat. Good to see you, my friends. Hope everyone's doing well. Thank you again, Sternsy, for that cheer. It's good to see you, my dude. I tried the sword by itself, but it doesn't quite take. Magic does not fit the lock. However, if we were to do this, spell list, enchant, with the greenie lady this time. Hell yeah. Now we're cooking with gas, baby. So in addition to having a cool green hue that just looks dope, and does little, like a cool little green afterglowy sparklies, it is now a key for this one particular emblem. So we stab the door, and we win.
Remember me, Alex.
How can I forget you, Grandpa?
And a vision of the Elder
You've always
Roivas.
meant the most to me. Ever since my parents died.
Yes. Ever since they were killed, you've been my little girl. Yes. My little girl.
It's not creepy, right? I mean, that was starting out at least as a nice interaction, but had a little bit of an odd aftertaste to that little encounter. So here we go. Because our weapon is enhanced with cool guy green magic, it is extra effective against these blue boys. So they can't stand up to us. We're too strong. Stab a few of them. Just get a buffer of sanity back, but I don't like having a lot of sanity. I like being mostly insane, that we can have the fun sanity effects. The enchant weapon system is a really good way to just cleave through the monsters. And honestly, the combat in this game is not that difficult anyway. So I feel like that's I would argue the weakest part of this game is the combat. But that's the beauty of it as well, is how overpowered it lets you get. At a GameCube, this is the only game. Yeah, it's a good one, man. It's a really good one. Sorry to hear that your GameCube time was fairly limited, though. Because yes, this game is great. It's my favorite horror game and was one of my like true horror experiences. At least as an adolescent. Something has given way. Can we try to climb over the rubble? Maybe in a second, actually. Hold on, there was something over here, right? What this? They were so muscly. Oh, these things. There's one more. Try and be really sneaky. It's a statue. Real careful. There we go. Trying to think about the trajectory. Things getting in the way. Got a new cookie. Oh, delicious, Lady Samus. Can I ask what kind of cookie? There are no wrong answers, by the way. All cookies are wonderful. Yeah, the Sanity Effects system really is unique. And other games obviously have done similar things. I know Amnesia has some kind of like hallucination sanity system, kind of, sort of. So it's been pioneered by other games as well, but yeah, this game was the originator of so much cool third, or rather fourth wall destruction, which is always so fun. I mean, not always. It's not always. I mean, there's... some games overdo it, but this one did a very good job, I think. We lost our head, by the way. Oh, there goes our arm. Oh, I can't swing my weapon with only one arm, though. That's okay. Oh, no, it's not okay. Okay, well, now I don't have any arms at all. Black Knight moment. Oh, okay, we're dead. Nope, just kidding. It was a Sanity Effect. That's a fun one, too. That one's more lighthearted. The Black Knight from Monty Python comparison is impossible to ignore. Let's climb over the rubble this time. Oatmeal cranberry raise and nice. That sounds wonderful, Lady Samus. Awfully dark in here. I'm gonna use the torch. Oh, you hear that noise? This fucking dude. And he's a big blue boy, which means we need to use the green magic to enhance our weapon to spank his small little dick off. So, enchant item with the greeny stuffs. And go fast. Let's try that again. He stopped me before I could get to it. It'd be... Ooh, he's getting close. Visage. I've heard that one's another really good one, Sternsy. Yeah, that is also on my list. Ouch. I was gonna say, I might one-shot him, but no, it wasn't quite a one-shot. But a two-shot's still pretty good. You can see his two heads were just kind of sitting there for a second there. I'll finish him so I can get a juicy bit of sanity back. Quiet the voices temporarily. They're gigantic though. Yeah. That's how I am too, Samus. I try to limit how much I indulge from time to time. This hand reminds me a little bit of the hand that holds the tome in those sequences each time. Made from human skin and bone. I mean, I only see the bone, but sure. Trestle of bones cradled within this shrine like a nightmarish bookstand, beckoning to be used. Well, we have seen instances of this kind of thing being used as a bookstand. This door is closed. Well, maybe it wants the tome. I'll temporarily relinquish it, but I'm not gonna like it though. We re-pick it back up? Okay, I was thinking it would close back down, but I guess it was a one-time deal. So from there, more monsters. Karim's chapter has so many cool combat situations, so I love this. All right, the wall hurts us though. Going to do a quick heal while we have a brief moment, because I think more monsters are on the way. Also, I'm going to kill a few of these fools. Get another buffer of sanity back. Let's know where that came from. Let's back that thing up. I might also do a quick recovery of sanity, because we're clearly losing more than I can gain, and the health drain is more the issue. I don't really care about, like, actually losing sanity. Because I like not having sanity, it's the health loss I'm worried about. Especially with a limited health recovery item. That's our only means of heals. So, kill this light as well. Kill him dead. So look at that, like in 2 gazings, we've lost it all. Smack. It's always so satisfying, like, as a very quick and easy and very effective, like, kind of get the fuck off me tactic. Just a plain-ass melee hit does wonders. Kill this guy real fast, get a big sanity reacquisition. Bam. This whole sequence is so cool. Oh, we got big boy. And I don't have any red things. I need you to come to me because I can't reach you from there, homie. Ouch. A quick heal. Okay. I was just saying, that's gonna be a magic attack. I know how to dodge those. Whoa. Do I hit him? Oh, and he's dead. Okay, I actually only hit him like once or twice, I think. But this weapon's so fucking OP. It's shit done. Finish him. I like that noise. It's like a crunchy audio. There's the essence of Ulyath. Now, could that be the treasure that our beloved desires so? All these other things are empty. So it's like an alternate entrance then to this ancient this elder ancient essence. What do you guys think? A delicate dome, a pale blue statuette. Should we claim the artifact? No, don't do it. Don't do it, Karim. But he must. For he cannot resist the siren call of his beloved and the artifact that she desires.
Karim, we will be together forever.
Chandra? What happened to you?
Things change, my dear Karim. But even though my body is ravaged, I await you.
Who did this to you?
You were gone so long. I gave myself to a nobleman with a jealous mistress. She had me dragged from my bed, and in cruel revenge, flensed with knives. As the last blades were drawn across my body, and my blood cooled upon the floor, she cursed that I would only be with another in death.
So much for thinking only of me. I should never have left.
I have seen my folly, and have already paid dearly. I see so much more now. In death, I know the true value of the artifact which I asked you to find. And it is not for us to possess. If we are to be together again, you must make a sacrifice. Only when that is complete will we be together.
Sacrifice? Why should I do anything for you? You lied to me. Betrayed me. And you really don't look so good anymore.
You must forget the past.
That line always gets me.
Despite who you are now, you will also become something more, just as I have. But the sacrifice must be made. We must remain here and guard the artifact. Dark things will come to claim it, and you must be strong to keep it from them. Without your sacrifice, the world will fall into eternal darkness.
Name drop. That's the second one.
As I do for love.
Oh no! Sophie's cursed or blessed or chosen to guard the artifact for all of eternity. That means like him and his ghost GF are just chilling in that little chamber for hundreds, thousands of years. What do you talk about when you're like a ghost and you're just chilling with your ghost GF or wife, your ghost waifu for... Oh, game's over, by the way. That's a game. All right, good. GG's. It's a short game. I told you guys, it's a really short game. Sanity's Redemption coming soon. Oh, just kidding.
Can't be happening.
I like that one too. That little like fake, that little fake out and be like, oh, hope you're liking the game, because that's all there is, motherfuckers. Just have ghost butt, ghost nut slapping, ghost sex all day. Yeah, it sounds pretty legit, honestly. What's up, Funny World? Vehicle block away. Oh, it's really, yeah, that sounds unpleasant. Funny. That sounds unpleasant for everybody involved. Yeah, when he's like, you don't look so good anymore. That line always gets me. I can't fuck a ghost, but that's why she's like, no, you join me and become a ghost. All the ghost butt slapping ghost sex you could ever hope. Yeah, that demo screen, isn't it great? I love it. I love it, friends. All right, guys, that's where we're gonna call it for the night. We have lots of new things now. We have, of course, new spells, and we have the Zealototh essence, or maybe not essence, but the alignment for casting spells now. So we can now get past that door that we saw previously that had the green enchantment on it. Use that with the Gladius that we found. We should have all that we need there. So we'll do that next time. Let's save real quick. I should be saving more often just because it's a good practice to have. Operation in progress. Very good. So we're all set. These, of course, were from previous playthroughs, but this one is the one we're on right now, and we're pretty far along here, which I'm really happy with. Pretty long stream too, almost 5 hours actually. I went well longer than I meant to, but I mean, this game, I cannot emphasize how much I love this game. So it is, again, my favorite horror game, and it's I'm like very happy to know that because of the video that I made, like, you know, almost exactly 10 years ago, the fact that it's gotten only just recently over 1 million views is really nice. And the thing that I think I'm most excited about is the fact that it means that a lot of people are interested in this game and like want to like see more about it. That's why they look for it on YouTube, that kind of thing. So I think that's the thing that means the most to me personally, is the notion that other people are excited about this game and like and appreciate it, or either they played it themselves and wanted to revisit it, or they always heard about it and wanted to see more of it themselves. So so the fact that this game has people that really appreciate all the things it has to offer is really something special.